an important role in my family's life. For 5 weeks when he was a baby, Finn lived in a Starlight Hero wagon. You could not understand the pure joy of having him go from a hospital bed into his favorite red wagon. Starlight doesn't just give items that hospitalized kids can use to keep themselves happy, but also memories, moments, and experiences which are so needed in times like these. They allow sick kids to just be kids for a little while. The support that Starlight provides to families like mine is an integral part to creating happiness at a time when there's very little to be found. Learn more about how Starlight Children's Foundation brightens the lives of sick kids by visiting starlight.org today.
I met him when he was in his 30s.
15 years old with multiple disabilities.
It was a traumatic brain injury.
Several surgeries led to his swallowing disorder.
His goal was to get back to work.
Social interaction was the key to helping him.
Oh, he was dedicated.
When he ate, his friends cheered.
And he made it back to work. Everyone has the right to communicate. Find an ASHA certified speech language pathologist today at asha.org/public.
Sean Hannity talks to the people involved in the top stories of the day, every day. Sean Hannity is on.
All right, 25 to the top of the hour. Your call's coming up. Also, this exchange with Piers Morgan and Douglas Murray, who is in Israel for the New York Post. I mean, fascinating exchange straight ahead. Listen, I want to remind you about Blinds.com. They want to say thank you to our nation's veterans. In honor of Veterans Day, they're now offering up to 45% off custom blinds and shades and shutters and more. And with Blinds.com, shopping for shades online doesn't mean sacrificing on style, quality, or service. And Blinds.com's design experts are always available. They'll help you choose the best styles and the best fit for your home. And by the way, those professional design experts are free. Now, if you want to compare styles in your home before you buy, no trouble. Blinds.com will ship samples right to your door. It's simple, fast, and easy, and it's free. No waiting around all day for an in-home consultation or just to get a quote. And I love the fact that Blinds.com is all about choices, whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or you want to book one of their installation pros to do it for you. You're going to love Blinds.com. No store beats their prices. And get this, no matter how many window treatments you choose, installation is now just one low cost, plus everything backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you're not happy with the style, the color, guess what? Blinds.com, they're going to make it right. They're going to make you happy. Anyway, shop Blinds.com and their Veterans Day sale happening right now. Save up to 45% off, plus huge doorbusters, up to 45% off right now when you go to Blinds.com. I want to play, it was actually an amazing exchange. And by the way, I get along great with Piers Morgan. We're friends. Sometimes we agree. Sometimes we disagree, especially on the Second Amendment. We totally disagree. So he's interviewing the New York Post, Douglas Murray, who has gone to the Middle East and gone to Israel. And he has seen a lot of things that most of us have not seen. Now, unfortunately for me, a lot of the images, the GoPros, the tapes I have seen, and I honestly say this, and I'm just telling you, you don't want these images in your head. It is a level that is inexplicable. It's evil personified. And Douglas Murray was explaining this in this exchange with Piers Morgan. I think Piers was a little shocked, saying, I'm on the ground, and it's very different here. Let me explain it to you. Let me play this exchange. It's a little long, but I think worthwhile, and then we'll get to your calls.
What concerns me about what Israel is doing is not their efforts to get rid of Hamas, but because of the particular nature of Hamas embedding themselves amongst civilian populations with the massive amounts of civilian casualties that will inevitably come, and that figure will grow and grow and grow. Are we not, as Barack Obama warned, are we not creating here just an opportunity for far greater radicalization of all those young Palestinians who watched their loved ones get killed? Why would we imagine that at the end of all this, they're going to want to do anything other than to become a new version of Hamas in wanting to exact revenge for what happened to their families.
Your question supposes that there is a sort of peaceful Palestinian population in the Gaza who would love a two-state solution, and then a few bad apples in Hamas. I think that's not true. Why is it that when one of the victims of the music festival, a poor young German Jewish girl, who it seems was raped and then brutally murdered and taken into the Gaza naked. Why was it that you can find, and anyone can find this online, a crowd of ordinary Gazans? It wasn't Hamas, it wasn't a Hamas rally. Ordinary Gazans spitting on her body, hitting her body, mutilating her body further as it went down the street. Does that strike you, Piers, as a placid population of peacenik types who are just desperately waiting for a two-state solution to be put back on the table for the millionth time in the last 70-something years? It doesn't seem like that to me. People quite often abuse history, and they say things all the time. I mean, about the only thing anyone from history knows is about the Nazis. Here's something I can tell you with absolute certainty, Piers, having not just seen some of the results of what Hamas did on the ground here in Israel a few weeks ago, but having watched the videos of the unedited footage, which I was one of the journalists who was sadly allowed to see the other day. I can tell you one thing: the comparison between Hamas and the Nazis is insufficient. Even the Nazis were actually ashamed of what they did. You know, SS battalions who spent their days shooting Jews in the back of the head and pushing them into trenches had to get very, very drunk in the evening to forget what they had done. Nazi high command famously had to sort of get around the problem of soldier morale because the soldiers knew this wasn't exactly what their lives were meant to look like either. I tell you one very big difference. If you look at the footage, the raw footage, and I really hope people don't on a wider scale have to view what I viewed the other day, if they see it, they will see something that is at least as barbaric as what the Nazis did. But here's the difference. They did it with glee. They were deeply proud. You see people trying to, taking the head off a young Israeli man with a shovel and then calling their parents back in Gaza and telling them, Father, I've killed 10 Jews with my own hands. Get mother on the phone. I want to tell her how great a job her son has done. I come back to this thing. I'm not exaggerating this. It's very, very interesting, and people need to realize you had this situation with the Nazis where they also were a genocidal anti-Semitic organization, but they tried to cover their crimes up. Hamas are actually proud of them, and they've said they will do them until the whole world is clear of Jews. Yeah. So I suggest we take that seriously, and I think that Israel is taking it seriously. I hope they continue to take it seriously, but I think the world should take it seriously.
All right, that was Douglas Murray in an interview with Piers Morgan. And why? Because, he's saying the West is failing Israel in the Hamas war. And in many ways, we are. Could you imagine losing 38,000 Americans, the equivalent if you base it on population, Israel versus the U.S. in a single day, and countries telling you to put a pause on the war for your survival? I really can't imagine that. That's hard for me to wrap my mind around. All right, let's say hi. Thomas is in Utah. Thomas, hi. How are you? Glad you called. What's going on?
Good afternoon, Sean. Yes, I wanted to talk about the Republican debate. But first of all, I want to say a happy birthday to the United States Marine Corps.
By the way, I'm saying this from my buddy, Captain Howie. Happy birthday to the Marine Corps. And by the way, you're a Marine, sir?
Yes, sir. I served the United States Marine Corps down in Camp Pendleton, California. And I remember every year on November 10th before Veterans Day is
248 years old today. Great point. Thank you to all our Marines. Semper Fi to all of you. And God bless you for the sacrifices you've all made for the cause of liberty and freedom that we all benefit from.
Absolutely. Hoorah. So about the Republican debate. So why is Chris Christie still, being shown up at the Republican debates? I think that his talking points aren't really as strong as, say, Ramaswamy or the governor from Florida.
Oh, Governor DeSantis. Look, I've said this from the beginning. I don't think Christie's a serious candidate. He's been on every show imaginable on fake news CNN and MSDNC. And he's on for one reason, because they use him as a Republican to spend almost every second bashing Donald Trump. Okay, I got it. That's your platform. He's not the serious candidate for president. That's why I've not wasted my time on him. I put Vivek Ramaswamy on. I mean, to me, it was a bit of a big baby the last time he was on, because I called him out on something that he said, and I quoted him accurately. Even during the interview, he admitted I quoted him accurately. And then he's been crying about it ever since. I'm like, grow up. If you want to be president, stop. He lectures everybody else about growing up. I did like that he called out the media. I thought that was a good moment, because I don't think that I see no benefit for Republicans to go in the mainstream media and let them host debates. I don't see any upside to it. If they're not going to be fair, that's my personal view. Hugh Hewitt's a great guy. I like Hugh a lot. I thought he did a good job. And in the end, I thought it was a fairly interesting debate. I didn't like when his comments about Nikki Haley's daughter. I think I keep kids out of it. I've been that way my whole life. People would ask me all the time during the Obama presidency, you ever say one nice thing about Obama? And I used to say, yeah, I think that it looks like he has a great family. He's got 2 beautiful kids, and he seems like a great dad. And Michelle seems like a great mom. That's what I said. I don't want to attack children. I don't want to attack families. It's an unfair burden that they already have if their parents are in the public eye. And I think they should be left alone, period, end of sentence. There's no justification for it. That's my personal belief, but that's up to Vivek. He's going to do what he wants to do.
Well, merits need to be judged. I mean, people need to judge people on their merits of what they do politically, and not about their family life or their personal life. I mean, when it comes down to politics, it's the politics that really matter in the track history and the merits. And that's what makes me think more of, Trump, because, he's already been there, and also DeSantis, he's got some kind of proven track record.
America needs a tough president right now. Let me tell you something.
Right.
America needs a president with common sense on the borders, common sense on energy, common sense on law and order, common sense and strength on the world stage, and leadership on the world stage. We need somebody tough, because we see what happens when America has a weak president. We're living under it with Joe Biden. I was being interviewed by a reporter. I won't mention the person's name today. And finally, I started asking, do you think Joe Biden is suffering a serious cognitive decline? Now, the answer is obviously yes. But the guy tried to circle around the question each way and sideways. It actually became entertaining to me, because I wouldn't let up on the question. I said, yeah, but you're not answering. He goes, well, I don't feel comfortable making a medical diagnosis. I said, I didn't ask you if he had dementia or Alzheimer's. I asked you if he's in cognitive decline. If you pulled tape from Joe Biden when he was a senator and compare it to today, if you take tape from early on in his first term as vice president, or take tape at the end of his second term as vice president, and you compare it to today, do you observe with your own eyes a significant cognitive decline? And the guy just couldn't get himself to go there. And I was entertaining myself to doing it, but to me, it's just so transparent and so obvious. And I think that's why the world, especially the hostile actors, are doing the things that they're doing. They feel this is what it looks like. The world looks like when America abdicates its role on the world stage as the world's leader. This is what it looks like. This is the void of American leadership. So we need strength in the Oval Office. And I'm very worried about what happens a year from now. I mean, we've got $34 trillion in debt now. I just don't know how bad it can get. I can't predict that. Anyway, Thomas, appreciate your call, man. Glad you're out there. 800-941-SEAN if you want to be a part of the program. Tina in California. What's up, Tina? How are you?
Well, I was listening to your interview with Jim Jordan yesterday, and he went on and on and on all about the Biden family corruption. And it got to the point that all I was hearing was blah, 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 because nothing's being done about it.
Oh, yes, there's a lot being done about it. It has taken them. Remember, they have not had any cooperation. They couldn't even get these suspicious activity reports. They had to track down all of these shell corporations. They've been having a very hard time getting witnesses. And now they have gotten to the point where they have enough evidence to bring in everybody associated with Joe and Hunter and James Biden, his brother, and other partners in this Rosemont Seneca deal. And they have a lot of explaining to do. And they have been subpoenaed. And now we're at that phase. This is an official impeachment inquiry. It takes time when people don't cooperate. It takes a lot of time. And they have been, slowly but surely building their case. And now we're at the point where they have some questions to answer. My guess is they're going to show up, plead the fifth, because they're not going to have good answers to these questions. So I tend to disagree with you. I think that, between James Comer, Jim Jordan, Jason Smith, I think they've done a good job. I'll give you the last 20 seconds.
Well, I just wanted to say it seemed like it only took a couple of months to get Trump impeached. That's why I'm so frustrated that it's taking so long to do anything about Biden and his family.
Let's not rush it. Let's get it right. And I think they're in the process of trying to get everything right, because God forbid they get one thing wrong, the media will be all over them. You know it, and I know it. All right? Hang in there. I know it's hard. The wheels of justice go very, very slowly. All right, folks, let's have a serious talk about your personal safety. Do you have a security plan? What if somebody breaks into your house, your business, whatever, and they want to bring harm to you and your family? Now, I'm a big Second Amendment proponent. Well, I've also found a non-lethal self-defense weapon that I happen to love. It's called Burner. Write it down, BYRNA, burner.com/Hannity. And for example, Burner, you can buy their pistols. For example, it's legal in all 50 states, no permits, no background checks needed. And they have all sorts of colors and designs you can choose from. I have purchased this as a gift for many people myself. And I like having both options, a lethal option and a non-lethal option, if God forbid that moment happens. Safety matters and options matter. That's why along my firearms, I have several Burner launchers. I also believe in training and knowing how to properly and safely handle and discharge a firearm. And less lethal or lethal guns, they're not toys. You got to be very careful. By the way, the 12-gauge lethal shotgun round, less lethal shotgun round by Bernie, you put it in your own shotgun, your own 12-gauge. And guess what? It cannot be shipped, by the way, in this case, to a handful of states. So you got to check with their laws. They will check for you as well, but make sure you ask them about that. But you got to go look at these videos, including videos of yours truly on Burner, as I trained with Special Forces guys one day, and we had a great time, and I learned a lot from them. Anyway, you'll see the videos of people being incapacitated by this formidable projectile that Burner fires. It's amazing. Just go to burner.com/Hannity, BYRNA.com/Hannity. You get 10% off. Linda, how good did I look on the video?
First of all, I loved how you cleared the house. I love the mission 4. And the video is up on Hannity.com. It's on burner.com/Hannity. And this weekend, in honor of Veterans Day, they're doing another 10% off. So make sure you go to their website and check out that discount as well.
By the way, I think the video up now is me with my own shotgun. And
because you loaded the 12-gauge bullets because
Right.
they fit into any pump action shotgun, and
Right.
you were able to show that.
You could actually put in, say, 2 Burner rounds that would fire first, and then the real one if you needed it. God
That's right.
forbid.
Less lethal to lethal. Very smart.
Yeah. Just go to burner, BYRNA.com/Hannity, HANNITY.
Breaking news every single day. This is the Sean Hannity Show.
Your home in the New River Valley for Charlie Kirk. Weekdays, noon to 3 on WRAD.
James Brown and Bill Cowher welcoming you back to Dennis Melvin's house. It's time for the Midnight Snack Run.
This is one tricky obstacle course. Sticking to healthy habits in this kitchen is going to take focus and determination, but it can be done, JB.
He's already entered the snack part of the course, and he's eyeballing a jar of chocolatey candy.
That is tempting right off the start.
Uh-oh, he's reaching, Bill, but he pushes it away.
Great stiff arm.
He's approaching a plate of delicious-looking iced cookies.
Oh, Dennis, you only want one of those.
He blows right by him for the apple.
Oh, the fridge. It's make or break time, JB.
He stares down some rich-looking treats. Uh-oh, looks like he's headed for the soda. Wait, he jukes left, grabs the water bottle, and shuts the door with his elbow in record time.
Unbelievable move. I gotta see that again.
And he's out. He even turned off the light.
That's the way you execute a midnight snack run.
Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer.
Go to takeahealthystand.org.
I love the Army. You just have this brotherhood that you can't find anywhere else. Since coming home from war, I've tried so many different things. I just remember thinking, like, it's over.
After being forced to medically retire, Angie battled addiction to prescription medications, eventually losing her house and marriage. Then she found Wounded Warrior Project.
And so I went online, I signed up, and I knew that Wounded Warrior Project was definitely my new community. One of the staff members, she put me in for peer mentor training. It was like for the first time someone recognized something good about me and thought that I had something to give back to someone else. Are you doing okay otherwise?
I've kind of picked up woodworking with my grandfather, so...
I saw 3D stuff. All those activities gave me a new way to live without drugs, a new way to live without feeling like I'm broken. You can live a meaningful life after traumatic experiences.
You wouldn't go into battle alone. You don't have to fight this alone. Visit woundedwarriorproject.org/notalone.
At Shriners Hospitals for Children, there are a million reasons to share love. My buddy Caleb is one of them. This is his story.
Hi, I'm Caleb, and this is my story. I was born with osteogenesis imperfecta or brittle bone disease. I have broken my bones almost 200 times, and I have had 11 surgeries. But I didn't let that stop me. I love to bike ride, climb, race, and I'm learning how to stand and walk. But I can only do all of this because of generous people like you and Shriners Hospitals for Children.
There are a million reasons to share love, but you only need one. Caleb is one reason. To learn how you can share love, visit loveshriners.org.
Thank you.
My daughter is Marina. Marina has a rare form of children's eye cancer, retinoblastoma. Her doctor sent us to a specialist, and then the specialist sent us to St. Jude. Within the first couple weeks of us getting here, I was just so scared. Like, I think the reality just hit me, and it kind of hit me all at once. I had started to cry, and her doctor came in, Dr. Brennan came in, and just didn't even say anything, sat down beside me, and, hugged me and held me while I, was literally sobbing. And she just said, "It's gonna be okay. We don't have to worry anymore. The treatment worked, and we've saved her eye." This place has been such a blessing for us. There's no way we could have paid for treatment back home if we had to. We can come here and we can just solely focus on taking care of her and helping her heal.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Your home in the New River Valley for Brian Kilmeade. Weekdays 9 to noon on WRAD.
All right, that's going to wrap things up for today. Don't forget Hannity tonight, 9 Eastern on Fox. Kaylee McEnany in for me tonight because I have an appointment. I hope you all have a great weekend and a great Veterans Day to all the vets out there. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for the love you've shown your country and your fellow human beings. We hope you have a great day. We honor you. We thank you. Have a great weekend. Back here Monday. Thank you for making this show possible. You know, most people, they have no idea there's an invisible gap in their home's protection. Now, your home, your equity is at risk. This invisible threat is house stealing from FBI Crime Stories. And I quote, "Con artists, they pick a house."
Broadcasting live from the Muckadoo studio, the home of Brian Kilmeade, Charlie Kirk, and Sean Hannity in the New River Valley. Fox News at the top and bottom of every hour. And your exclusive home for Big Dog Sports Talk with Rick Watson. Weekday mornings from 6 to 9. WRAD FM Radford. WRAD AM Radford. News, talk, sports. The WRAD Talk Network. The following is a presentation of the WRAD Talk Network and New River Radio Group. It's time for the Harvey's GM 4th and Goal Show on the WRAD Talk Network. Host of Big Dog Sports Talk, Rick Watson, and WFXR Fox TV Sports Director Jermaine Farrell are here to discuss and break down this week's matchups in the New River Valley and beyond. Here are Rick Watson and Jermaine Farrell.
And we welcome you into the Harvey's 4th and Goal Show. I'm Rick Watson. He is WFXR's Jermaine Farrell, our final program of the 2023 season as we get through the regular season. And now it is playoff time, the second season within a season. And Jermaine, you've covered it all year long. And I remember when we got started in August, I think you even mentioned, we're going to be talking about in November how fast the season went by. And sure enough, here we are. It's hard to believe.
I tell you, it's been a unique season. I mean, we got 5 weeks to go. Now, Rick, it's about getting on a 5-game winning streak at the VHSO level to win a state championship. And then not only that, I mean, if you're VISAA, I mean, you're talking about winning 2 games. I mean, their playoffs go 2 rounds. So this is what you do. What Bill Parcells said, that's why you work out so hard. That's why you lift all those weights after you get ready, because you put yourself in a position to where, okay, hey guys, it's showtime. Let's do some. So I tell you one thing, it's a fun time of the year. I love it, and it's exciting. And now it's going to be a special. Now it's like you win or you go home. Now there's no next week. You lose, you get ready for wrestling or indoor track or the hoop court. If you win, you move on to the next round. So we got a lot of good stuff there, but it'll be a fun time.
And what I like too, we kind of preview and talk about how many local teams, right, either here from the New River Valley or down in Roanoke, or even closer in other areas, how many legitimate state championship contenders that might pop up. And it's nice to see so many, if you will, local schools that have positioned themselves pretty well to make a playoff run.
Yeah, there is so many good teams, and when you look at them, I mean, look at our number 1 seeds. I mean, if you look at, class, we look at teams, we look at, Region 5D. You got Fleming and PH at this moment. As of our taping, of course, when you hear this, they're actually competing, and those are 2 good teams that are playing well. Salem, a top seed in Region 4D. You got Jefferson Forest and as a 2, EC Glass a 3, and then you go to, George Washington, a 2 seed that turned it on as of late. You go to Region 3C, Liberty Christian, a 1 seed, Allegheny, a 4, Rustburg's a 5, Heritage a 7 seed. And, then you go to Region 3D, how about Magna Vista? The way they've turned it on, and, Sand River, an 8 seed, Christiansburg, they're a 4 seed. Pulaski, a 7 seed, William Byrd, a 2 seed, and then you go Lord Botts out of 3, taking on Bassett, a 6, and then you go Region 2C, Radford, 10-0, playing well, on a roll. Can they maintain and do it through the playoffs as a 1 seed, playing James River, district rival, an 8 seed, with Chatham, a 5 seed, and Appomattox, a 4, and then also you got Gretna, a 2 seed. They've really been impressive all year. Gretna, their only 2 losses were to Jefferson Forest and Magna Vista.
Right.
Their only 2 losses. Floyd County, they're a 7 seed. Glenver, 2 seed, taking on Patrick County, Glenver, a 3, taking on Patrick County, a 6. And then William Campbell, a 4 seed. Alta Vista, 3 seed, Region 1B and Region 1C, which you talk about a tough region. Grayson County hanging on for the top spot. I mean, when you look at it, you got like Bath County, they're 9-1, a 4 seed. Grayson County, they're 9-1, a 1 seed. Those 2 teams could meet up in a regional semifinal.
Yeah.
Giles, 3-7, getting in and playing well. As it's late. Galax, 5th seed. Fort Chiswell, 7th seed. Narrows 8-2, a 2 seed, and George West 7-3, a 3 seed. Perry McClure 6. So that's a tough one in the hoe. And then, of course, coming up Saturday, North Cross, the private school ranks with 2 wins, and they get into a championship. So very long-winded answer for your question, just going through the teams. But we still, I mean, there's some, what makes it interesting, Rick, these are playoff games and playoff matchups where you're going to have teams in there, and it's going to be a close, tight fit. So I guess the bottom line is you better buckle up your chin strap. You better be ready because it's going to be a tough one. And that's what's, again, so fun in these matchups. And then as you go further down the line, there's going to be so many good matchups. So I'm looking forward to it, Rick. I mean, this is fun stuff. You got me fired up already, Rick. I mean, playoffs, baby. I'm telling you.
Postseason time.
We are ready.
Yeah, it's the Harvey's GM 4th and Goal show. Well, let's get right to it now here in 5C because it's very seldom you have a backyard rivalry started out, right? Your alma mater, the number 1 seed, Patrick Henry, against that crosstown rival, William Fleming. I mean, what a way to start the postseason, man, to see a rivalry game like this.
I know it's huge. I mean, Fleming 6-4, and they play, and their 4 losses. I mean, Fleming's 4 losses. They lost to Salem. They lost to Lord Bobcat. They lost to William Byrd. And they lost to Patrick Henry. That's your 4 losses. All right, look at that. So they played a tough schedule, and they played well. And one thing is, like Fleming lost to PH in a close game earlier this year, 27-14 over Merrill Gaynor Field, and they're going to meet up again as we speak. And when you look at these 2 teams, first, I mean, these teams, this is going to be the 74th meeting, Rick. And this is the first time these 2 teams ever met in a playoff matchup. I mean, that's right there says a lot about what this game is and what's on the line. Because now you're playing for something here. I mean, and if you're PH, the good thing about Rick, if you're PH, if you win, I mean, if you keep winning, you host all the way through the state semifinals. Like there's really 2 teams in our area that can have that claim. 3 actually. And that LCA, if they win always, in fact, if LCA, they don't even have to leave the city of Lynchburg. Because if they keep
that's
winning,
right. That's right.
Because obviously they'll go back to their old home stadium at Williams Stadium, but they don't have to leave Lynchburg because that's where your championship game is in Class C, and also Radford. Radford can stay at home all the way through the state semifinal. So that's a big thing because of your hard work throughout the season. You earn that right. But circling back, PH, and they had a lot of injuries. The thing is, they were 9-1. You lose, Chuck Webb, for the season, and then you lose Joey Beasley. Those guys can come back. It adds more depth to your offense, and as time progresses in the playoffs, you're going to need as many players as you can. So, a huge opportunity there. Like I said, the winner is being city bragging rights, but also playoff bragging.
Well, a team that has absolutely all sorts of familiarity with the postseason in 4D is that number 1 seed, the Salem Spartans. As you look at this thing, I mean, there's some really good teams in here. I mean, when your 4-5 matchup is 2-7-3 squads, that tells you all you need to know. But in the long run, how do you think Salem's going to navigate through this region?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, we talked last week. Like last week, Blacksburg forfeited their game to Salem.
Yeah.
And, Salem wanted to play the game and Blacksburg wanted to play the game. But I think at this time of the year, having kind of like a bye week, an unexpected bye week, gave you an opportunity, team to rest up and heal up and get going with things. But I will say that Salem, I mean, when you look at playoff experience, Salem with 10 state championships, there's only one. I mean, they're tied with Riverhead, for second. And both those teams could end up adding to their total. The only school with more state championships is Hampton. They got 17.
Right.
But there's a tradition. They call it Championship City. They call it winning time over there in Salem. Especially you're giving them an opportunity. They're going to have home field all the way through that region. That's big time. And when you look at it, I mean, it's a loaded region. And locally, when you have, like you said, we got 4 teams in that region. I mean, two of them are going to match up. I mean, you know, George Washington, I mean, they started off 1-4, Rick. They were 0-3, you know, playing Jefferson Forest. Started off, and now they've won 5 in a row and 6 or 7. And they've been on a roll, you know, averaging 58 points a game in their last 5, rocking and rolling. So, in Jefferson Forest, I mean, really, I mean, they have a history of playoff success, but this recent group, best run they've had in a while. So, can they maintain that opportunity? And then, you know, you look at it, EC Glass, their 3 losses, Patrick Henry, JF, and LCA. EC Glass 7-3, Rick. Those are your 3 losses. A combined record of 27-2. Your 3 losses.
Right.
And obviously JF and LCA played each other. So, I mean, just think about it. That's your 3. That's Glass's 3 losses.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
We're talking about them with a perfect run, but you know, 2 of them were two of the losses were games that were in your district, so you can't really control that. But they scheduled a Patrick Henry, which, you know, look where they are now. So, I mean, 203 losses were teams that are number 1 seed in the regionals. And another one is, you know, an eyelash away from being a number 1 seed themselves. So they could have potentially, those 3 losses that could have been there. So, yeah, Region 4D is a loaded region. And I'm saying right now, whoever wins that is going to have a good shot at winning a state championship out of that. Really, if you win your region, it really makes your chances strong.
A lot of interest in 3D around these parts and down towards you as well. I mean, you got Magna Vista had the perfect season. There's that 4-5 game. This is exactly what Alex Wilkins was thinking about when he scheduled Abington in the regular season. He thought he would meet them again. Here they are playing. And, of course, Pulaski County at number 7, that William Byrd team's buoyed by that great defense. I mean, you know it's a good region when Lord Botetourt had an 8-2 season, yet they're number 3 in Region 3D.
It is. And one thing, we talked about it kind of last week. Remember we said, like, there's on the bottom end, there's 3 teams battling for 2 spots. Pulaski County, Cave Spring, and Sand River. And we said, if you're on the bottom part of that draw, you have a chance. When you look at, like, your 8 seed, Sand River, and I know they struggle a little bit, but remember, Sand River last year, Rick, beat Magna Vista. You know, they beat them in the playoffs in the first round. You have a playoff rematch. A lot of these first-round matchups are playoff rematch.
Right.
You know, you look at them right then and there. And then, you know, you look at a Pulaski and William Byrd. What's interesting is Pulaski, with their tough schedule. I mean, think about, like, Rick, you saw how tough that schedule was. We had a little bit of a debate on it during your show, Big Dog Sports Talk, which you can see, which you can hear, by the way, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 right here on WRAD. We'll plug for you. But anyway.
Appreciate that.
So, if you don't plug yourself, who will? Right?
Well, you need a little help from friends from time to time, right?
There you go. I gotta help you out. You're my man. You're my tag team partner. I'm gonna tag you in there now.
Absolutely.
But here you go. But so I mean, but Pulaski has never lost to William Byrd. They're perfect 4-0. Now those teams were, you know, Joel Hicks teams and teams like that. But that's gonna be. I mean, and we talked about Pulaski. We talked about their running game, the Gallimores, and what they can do. Well, you know, and they play fairly decent defense as of late. And like I said, you know, they've had a tough schedule. When you look at Pulaski, they lost to Salem, Christiansburg, Patrick Henry, played. I said Bluefield, but I meant to say
Princeton.
Princeton, yeah. I mean, sorry about that.
That's
but
okay.
Yeah, played Princeton, and they're a good team. And you know, they played. If I remember, they played. You know that. So the schedule was so strong, which. You play a tough schedule, it prepares you. And then, you know, you look at, you know, you said Lord Botetourt. They are a 3 seed, but they got a playoff rematch against Bassett. So, and Bassett has really turned it on. I mean, Bassett's a team that's 5-5, but you can't sleep on them. So that's what I'm saying. That's a tough region. And then you didn't mention it, but I'll throw it in there. Region 3 seed with LCA. You know, they're in that region. And Allegheny and Rustburg are not. When you like Allegheny, the new Allegheny, a 4 seed, Rick, and they're 9-1, and Rustburg a 5 seed at 7-3, and Heritage, you can't sleep on them. With Brad Bradley and his playoff knowledge, they're 6-4 as a know that fits your category because everyone in that region is at least 500, so it fits your playoff criteria. Where you
Exactly.
where
Yes,
you have
got to be
that.
at least 500. Absolutely.
Here you go. So you have that. So yeah, and see, remember, Rick, those two regions match up in your state. Come on,
They do.
whoever wins Region 3. So you could have an LCA, which they're probably the favorite, but you can never know. And then Region 3 is just, like I said, it's going to be a battle royal. And you know what? It wouldn't surprise me. To be honest, it wouldn't surprise me. Let's say Pulaski County were to win it. I think that they have the pieces to do it. Because now it's like, okay, here we go. Let's do it.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to take a break, come back, look at Region 2C, and, of course, Region 1 when we return for the playoff edition of the Harvey's GM 4th and Goal Show. Stay with us. More.
This is a Money Minute from Brian Bowen and the team at Integrity Financial Planning.
So, Brian, we've touched on this the last couple weeks. How about giving our listeners some year-end tax tips to help them save on taxes?
I mean, if it depends. If someone's a W-2 earner, right, and they basically have a job and they don't have any business and they don't have any investment real estate, well, you're limited. There's not that many things you do. But if you have assets and you want to invest in different things to get some tax deductions to help offset your tax, there are things that anybody can do, really. Just that you have to really know taxes and understand it. One, you can sign up for a health savings account. It's not going to help you this year. You have a health savings account and an eligible high deductible health plan. You can, make sure you maximize the contribution. You can actually do that until April next year. Oil and gas. I know that sounds scary. Oh my gosh. Well, a lot of people have gotten extremely wealthy off of oil and gas. You can invest in oil and gas companies as a way to take advantage of multiple.
Now back to more of the Harvey's GM 4th and Goal Show on WRAD. Once again, it's Rick Watson and Jermaine Farrell.
And we welcome you back to the Harvey's GM Playoff Edition, the 4th and Goal Show. Rick Watson and Jermaine Farrell from WFXR. And before we get to Farrell's top 5 playoff games this week, Region 2C, we've got number 1, Radford. I guess my question is more of an opinion piece. Radford had such a great regular season. They're coming off their bye week, as you mentioned a moment ago, with Salem kind of having the impromptu bye with the Blacksburg forfeit. The Bobcats going to be healthy and reared back and got those ears laid back, man. This looks like a region that's made for them here in 2C.
It's good stuff right there. I mean, they have won the last 6 against James River. So it's a district matchup. Both teams are very familiar, but Radford dominated, won 55-0 earlier in the year. Now, James River, they had injuries themselves. I mean, James River, they started off 3-0, and I say, hey, this could be a surprise team. And they barely got in. They lost their last 7, and they got shut out 4 times and only scoring 20 points in that stretch. So now, but it's playoff time. You wipe the slate clean, you get ready. James River, familiar with Radford, and vice versa. So that should be a fun one at Norman Lindenberg Field tonight. Radford trying to maintain. Okay, you did it in the regular season, and now it's playoff time.
In 1C, I mean, it's nothing but local teams. I love it. Grayson County sitting there at number 1. Then you have Narrows and George Wythe and Bath County, Galax, Perry McClure, Fort Chiswell, Giles. I mean, we've talked about these teams all year. This is going to be a fun one for local fans to watch this region.
I tell you what, Rick, you can pretty much put these teams in a bag and shuffle it up and figure it out. I mean, just even you look at your top 6 seeds. You think about that Grayson County 9-1. They got beat pretty handily, by George Wythe, and even Coach Harner said, "Hey, we probably want to see this team again." And then that shakes out. You'll be up in a regional final. Well, this time that game being independent. Bath County, they had a tough loss to, they lost to Galax last week, and a game that they had an opportunity to do that. So, I mean, these games are just so interesting. I mean, Galax 6-4, they're championship pedigree, trying to get back to winning the region. George Wythe trying to get back to a state final. Narrows. So Fort Chiswell. I mean, this is such a dominant region. You just don't know who's going to do what and who's going to get where. But, I mean, you never can count anyone out. But it's going to be a fun one right there and there. And then as we circle back real quick up in Region 2 seed. Watch out for Gretna, because they're a 2 seed, and I said Gretna's 2 losses were to JF and also to Magna Vista. So watch out for them too.
All right, so that's a skim through all the regions, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see how it plays out. And now let's get to it, man. The playoff edition of Farrell's 5. This has been a great addition to the program this year from Jermaine. He picks out his top 5 best matchups. Here we are. Who's number 5 here on this postseason menu coming up for tonight?
Well, I tell you what, I kind of kept it local, so we have local matchups. Number 5, I got Red River 3-7. They're the 8th seed in Region 3, taking on the number 1 seed Magna Vista. They're 10-0, of course. That's going to be down in the hole, baby, the hole, Ridgeway. 6th meeting overall between the schools. Magna Vista is 3-2. 4th, Rick, these teams have met. This will be the 4th playoff meeting. Red River has won when it counts. Obviously, it's playoff time. They're 2-1 in those matchups. The teams met in the regular season opener. Magna Vista winning that one 41-6. Playoff rematch from the first round of last year. Red River winning in Ridgeway, and that was an upset 35-21, which opened up the bracket. Magna Vista went 10-0 for the first time since 2011. The Warriors are going for their first playoff win since 2019. They've lost their last 3 playoff games. Red River's lost their last 2 and 5 of 6 after a 2-2 start. Red River making their 10th playoff appearance, and Magna Vista making their 29th playoff appearance.
All right, so there is number 5. How about number 4 on Farrell's top 5?
Number 4, I mean, that was Rick, these were tough choices. Now people might say, well, why are you picking this and picking that? These were not easy, but I went to Region 2 seed. I had Chatham, the 5 seed, 7-3 overall, taking on Appomattox, 5-5. We know how good Appomattox is in their state championship run. Rick, this is a Dogwood District rematch, 28th meeting overall. Appomattox beats it 25-2. This is the second playoff meeting ever. Appomattox beat Chatham in 2019 in the playoffs, 64-22. Appomattox, they won the last 17 matchups, including this year in the regular season. They played last month, 51-26. Chatham's last win in the series came back in 2004 when you were a young Sparky like you are now. It was a 41-7 win at home. And after a 1-5 start, Appomattox has turned it on. They've won their last 4 games to go to 5-5. Appomattox making their 20th playoff appearance. Chatham's 6th playoff appearance. And Chatham's only playoff win came in 2005 when they won at Gretna 34-27.
All right, good start to Farrell's 5. How about number 3 now, right in the middle for playoff weekend?
How about this one? Let's go to Region 3D. How about this? 7th seed, Pulaski County Cougars 4-6, visiting the 2-8 William Byrd Terriers at Bob Patterson Stadium. This is going to be the 5th meeting between the teams. Pulaski, a perfect 4-0. They've never lost to these teams. These teams, this is their second playoff meeting. Pulaski beat Byrd back in 2001 in Dublin, 28-9.
Wow.
The last meeting came back in, what's that now?
I said, wow, that's a long time ago. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, just to think, and keep in mind, back then, both those teams were like in Class 4 or the old, Division 4 class, Division 2, Division 1 class, whatever it is. But anyway, so the last meeting came back 2019. The Cougars won that one 19-14 in Benton. Pulaski's making their 30th playoff appearance. William Byrd, their 15th. Terriers have lost their last 4 playoff games. Their last playoff win came in 2016. They beat Liberty Buellton that year. The Cougars have lost their last 2 playoff games. Their last win coming in 2019. Should be an intriguing one. The Gallimores and, of course, Izzy Hairston for William Byrd and the Byrd defense, which, like I said, they have really been strong all year long. So now, defense to the playoffs. See what can happen there.
That's right. See how Byrd reacts to being a favorite as the number 2 seed now as a 9-win team. All right, here we are now, the top 2. Number 2 on Farrell's top 5 for the first playoff weekend.
Okay, number 2, we're going to go to Region 4D. I got the 7th seed, George Washington, at 6-4, taking on the 2 seed, Jefferson Forest, 9-1, over at Sabre Stadium. This is the first ever playoff meeting. First playoff meeting, but 4th ever they teams have met. GW leads the series 2-1. The last meeting was in 2019 in Danville. It was a 50-21 game there. in favor of GW. JF coming off a 35-14 loss at LTA, the first loss of the season, which in essence knocked them out of the top seed. GW, after an 0-3 start and 1-4, they have won their last 5 and 6 and 7. They're averaging, Rick, 58 points per game in their last 5. GW beat Tunstall last week, 50-13. So this is JF's 21st playoff appearance for GW. It's their 36th. What a first-round matchup.
It's a good one, yeah.
JF with a record. I mean, the schedule doesn't get any easier, and as you climb the list, it'll be interesting to see what they do. But, yeah, they're the 2 seed. We'll see what they can do. The winner of this game gets the winner between EC Glass and Sharando as they play that game.
All right, and number 1 for the first playoff weekend, the place to be tonight in Farrell's Top 5.
Now, as we're speaking, this game is going on. This game kicked off at 5:30. Or number 1, we're going to go to Region 5D. The William Fleming Colonels, the 8th seed, 6-4, taking on the top seed, the Pass Green Patriots. They're 9-1 over Merrill Gaynor Field. First ever playoff meeting. PH won the regular season game at home back on September 15th. That was a 27-19 game. PH has won the last 8 meetings in 12 of 13. The last time Fleming beat PH was on November the 7th, 2014, nearly to the day. That was a 27-7 win at Merrill Gaynor Field. 74th meeting with PH leading the series 39-30-4. PH's 21st playoff appearance. It's their 12th straight year in the playoffs. Fleming has their 20th playoff appearance. PH won last week at Hidden Valley 59-0, and PH has shut out their last 2. Now, Rick, here's a crazy stat. Try this one off the side. PH has won their last 2 games by a combined score of 121-0. So they shut out the last 2 opponents. William Fleming won last week at Stan River 20-0, and they shut out their last 2 opponents by a combined score of 49-0. Winner of this game gets the winner between Douglas Freeman and Hermitage in the next round. So it's a Richmond-based region. So the winner of this game will play teams from the Richmond Mason. Weaver County, by the way, they're the 2 seeds in that region. So it should be a good matchup all the way around. LC Bird and Matilica, the other part of that bracket.
Well, it's good stuff, and that is Farrell's Top 5. And, well, that's going to conclude another season of the Harvey's GM 4th and Goal Show. And my thanks has to go out first and foremost to my partner, Jermaine Farrell. I can't imagine doing this without you. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't want to do it without you, my man. It's just a lot of fun. I get so many comments and people who watch WFXR and your playoff coverage. You are now the premier place in the area that people go for their high school football coverage, especially on Friday nights. And I want to thank you again for contributing. And it's just a lot of fun, man, to be able to talk to you every week about all these high school teams.
Well, it's been fun, Rick. Great year, and we'll see what happens. Of course, we got 2024 coming up, but it's a good one. And again, don't forget the Hardy's Friday Night Blitz coming up tonight, 10:30 on WFXR. David Guzman and Ryan Moy, my tag team partners in the cast of thousands. We do a great job, and we appreciate all you do, sir. Having me on your show, it's a blessing, and really appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
It is great, and we'll watch all your coverage for the rest of the playoffs on WFXR. Thanks to everybody for all the great comments, and thank you so much, Harvey's GM, for sponsoring the 4th and Goal Show. Everybody enjoy week 1, and good luck, especially to all of our local teams in all the regions as you try to trudge forward to a state championship. For Jermaine Farrell, Rick Watson saying so long. Thanks for listening until 2024. This has been the Harvey's GM 4th and Goal Show. Enjoy your playoff weekend, everybody.
You've been listening to the Harvey's GM 4th and Goal Show with Rick Watson and Jermaine Farrell on the WRAD Talk Network. Tune in every Friday at 6 p.m. all season long for in-depth analysis of high school football in the New River Valley. This has been a production of the WRAD Talk Network and New River Radio Group. Copyright 2023, all rights reserved.
You're tuned in to 101.7 FM, 103.5 FM, 1460 AM, the talk of the New River Valley, WRAD. We're honored tonight to broadcast both your Radford Highlanders as they are at the Greenbrier to do battle on the hardwood with the Marshall Thundering Herd, and the undefeated Radford Bobcats taking on James River at home in the first round of the playoffs. Pre-game for the Highlanders men's basketball team starts momentarily on 101.7 FM and worldwide at WRADradio.com. Radford High School football will begin momentarily on 103.5 FM and 1460 AM and online at the New River Radio Group's YouTube channel. A link to the YouTube live stream can be found online at wradradio.com and on our Facebook page. Thank you, and go Bobcats, and shields up Highlander Nation.
Broadcasting live from the McAdoo Studio, the home of Brian Kilmeade, Charlie Kirk, and Sean Hannity in the New River Valley. Fox News at the top and bottom of every hour, and your exclusive home for Big Dog Sports Talk with Rick Watson. Weekday mornings from 6 to 9. WRAD-FM Radford, WRAD-AM Radford. News, talk, sports. The WRAD Talk Network.
Today, more than 6 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's, and more than 11 million family members and friends serve as their caregivers. While researchers are working tirelessly to end Alzheimer's and all other dementia, the number of people living with Alzheimer's is expected to more than double by 2050. The toll of the disease is monumental, and its devastation affects family, friends, and especially caregivers. No one should face Alzheimer's and dementia by themselves. If you or someone you know is struggling to provide care to a loved one, please share this message. You are not alone. Free help and resources are available 24/7. To talk with an expert and obtain disease-related information, care and support services, call 800-272-3900 or visit the Alzheimer's Association website at alz.org. You are not alone.
It's time for Radford Bobcats football on the WRAD Talk Network, 101.7, 103.5, and 1460 AM. Radford High School football is presented by Southern Furniture, Harvey's GM, Radford Drug, McAdoo's, Mullins Funeral Home, Brad's Barbershop, and Dr. Dennis Vaughn. Here to call the action for tonight's game, Radford High School alums Nick Brown and Timothy Whirls. Now to the stadium, and the voice of the Radford Bobcats, Nick Brown.
Perfection achieved by the Bobcats that was capped off by a 56-0 demolition of the Carroll County Cavaliers. Radford's fourth shutout of the year ended with a Gatorade bath of Coach Christ. None of that matters now. It's a new season, and Radford is 5 wins from the mountaintop that they have craved for the last 51 years. One simple question remains. Why is it so cold now? Because it's the playoffs, baby, and you're going to have it here, all live on WRAD.
Bobcat fans, it's game time. Time for friends, food, fun, and football. Where you ask? At McAdoo's, of course. Whether it's before, during, or after the game, come to McAdoo's or have your tailgate party catered with the delicious McAdoo's food you know and love. With 19 locations, there's a McAdoo's wherever you go, including Radford, Blacksburg, Christiansburg, and Salem. McAdoo's is now hiring for all positions. Stop by a location for more information. Check out their daily specials, locations, and catering menu at McAdoo's.net, and we'll see you at the Do's.
The Office of Dr. Dennis Vaughn is a proud supporter of Radford High School sports and wishes the Bobcats the best of luck this season. Dr. Vaughn has been a Radford orthodontist for 36 years, improving the smiles and confidence of countless patients. Dr. Vaughn and his team salute our team, the Radford High School Bobcats. Good luck this season and continue to make your school, your parents, and your community proud. Go Bobcats! From the Office of Dr. Dennis Vaughn, orthodontist, Radford.
Step foot inside Brad's Barbershop in Radford, and you'll be transported back to a time when men were men and getting a straight razor shave and a haircut is something that mattered. You can expect the service at Brad's to be top-notch, being locally owned and operated. Brad is available daily by appointment, and you can reach them at 838-2109. That's 540-838-2109. Brad's Barbershop is a proud supporter of Radford High School athletics. Go Bobcats!
Hello, I'm Karen, owner of Southern Furniture in Radford. We are family owned and operated, and we carry Ashley, Pulaski, Southern Motion, Serta, Catnapper, Von Bassett, and England by Lazy Boy, and many others. Southern Furniture is a proud supporter of Radford Bobcat football. Players, coaches, and family, go Bobcats! Southern Furniture is located at 2110 West Main Street, just 1 mile past the post office in Radford. Go Bobcats!
Radford High School football is on WRAD. It's time for the Harvey's GM pregame report. With a look ahead at tonight's matchup, we head back to the stadium to Nick Brown and Timothy Worrells.
Well, like I said, it's a chilly one out today, folks. Bundle up, but it's under the lights, and it's the playoffs today, baby. Just like Coach Saunders said so long ago to a sassy student in gym class one day. I don't know who the student was, but they burst a quote that will live on in infamy here in Radford, Virginia. Well, I'm Nick Brown. To my left, Timothy Worrells. Thank you for tuning in today for round one of the Region 2C regional tournament. It's the quarterfinals. And Radford's going to face a familiar opponent in James River today. But first, we got to go back 2 weeks because, hey, Radford had their open week a week ago.
Yeah, it felt weird not being at a football game last week, watching everyone else in the area finish their season off. And as we talked about at the beginning of the season, so we had some eyebrow raises and we scratched our head. What the heck? We're playing 10 straight games. What's that going to look like this year? Well, hey, it turned out really good for the Bobcats, and there is no bye week in the playoffs this year, but Radford still got one last week. I love it.
Yeah, basically did get a bye week that was much needed rest. Radford gets back J.D. Grubb, who is sick against Carroll County, who didn't play, and Max Knipe makes his glorious return. All reliable, and that will be a big, big contribution to this offense. But, hey, Luke Woodard did a phenomenal job in his place, filling into that wide receiver one role. And I think what proved when Max Knipe went out for about 2 games and J.D. Grubb missing against Carroll County is there was no real drop-off.
No drop-off at all, but instead, some positives that came out of the game. Other guys had opportunities to shine. Other guys had opportunities to get a lot of confidence. So the Bobcats really gained a lot of confidence in some other guys going into the bye week. Everyone's rested. Everyone's healthy. We have a confident Bobcat team out here ready to start the real season, the playoffs.
7 different guys, not named Landon Clark, scored a touchdown 2 weeks ago against Carroll County. Landon Clark obviously had 4 passing touchdowns, but Kamani Kimbrough, William D. Hart-Lewis, and Corian Ferguson with a rushing touchdown each. Sincere Taylor, Colton Garner-Rollins, Jaden Hendricks, and Luke Woodard each had a touchdown of their own. Luke Woodard had a pair of touchdowns, so that was extra good for him. But overall, just the love was spread across the board, and Virginia, oh my goodness, I almost said Virginia Tech, still tripped up from a day ago when I was down in Charlotte. But Radford, 2 weeks ago, gets the shutout, 4th shutout of the year, and it was a goal line stand.
Yes, it was, and a really good stand indeed. And but 1 year makes a big difference, and so again, we're looking forward to tonight, and hopefully you see a lot of fireworks by this offense, and hopefully we don't have to make a goal line stand tonight at the end of the game.
That is certainly true. You will see plenty of fireworks today between Radford and, well, not so much James River, but you will see plenty of fireworks from Radford. Let's take a look at the points per game for Radford. What are they averaging here, Mr. Timothy Worrells?
Yeah, Radford's averaging 47.3 points a game, holding their opponents to just 8. I mean, that's impressive. We've been talking about how the offense is always quick to be spoken of, but the Bobcat defense has been even extra special. So that's a lot of points offensively, and that's not a lot of points defensively that we're letting. That's a football coach's dream right there.
Radford with 4 shutouts this season against Carroll County, Floyd, James River, and Giles. 4 kind of old rivals right there that you want to get shutouts for and you really enjoy right there to get those zeros on the board. First time Radford has had 4+ shutouts since the year 2000. That defense was led by J.C. Price. Mentioned that to Coach Chris later in our interview, and he thought that was pretty freaking cool when I told him that. But we'll talk on that later when we actually talk to him. Yards per game, Radford entering today 415 and only giving up 152 total yards per game. Pretty darn good stuff right there, and the turnover ratio, that's about just as good as anything you can get right there.
Yeah, the turnover ratio doing really good, 22-7 That's exactly what you want for the Bobcats. And Nick rewinded back to week 1 when we were doing this pregame show back in August. We're saying, can they produce enough yards to make up from last year? Well, they did better.
Yeah, certainly did. We set that line at 350 yards, and they got 346 the first game. We're like, so close. Well, here we are. Who would have thought?
This has been the most well-rounded football team I've seen in a Radford uniform in years.
Last 4 points put out for Radford, 55 points, 46 points, and 56 points. They've only given up 27 points in the last 4 games, and all 27 came against Patrick County, who, by the way, is putting up a lot of points recently.
Yeah, Patrick is looking back now at that win and how dominating that win and how Patrick's been playing since. I think that's a much better win for us than we anticipated. So Patrick County heading into the playoffs as well, and with a little confidence under their belt. Three Rivers District's always produced. I think this year Three Rivers has been a little down, but it seems like the Three Rivers District has always produced the competitors in the Regency bracket.
Well, let's take a look here at the playoffs, by the way. I've got a nice little bracket here for you, Mr. Timothy Worrells, that I printed out. Not so big, so I hope you can read this. But here we are, Radford, the 1 seed. They'll be taking on number 8, James River, the 8 seed right there. And they will face the winner of either Appomattox or Chatham. That happens to play tonight as well. On the other side of the Region C bracket, number 2 seeded Gretna will take on Floyd, and Glenver will take on Patrick County. So a lot of good games there. Well, what are you most excited for later in the Region C playoffs?
I think Appomattox and Chatham's going to be a better game than a lot of people are giving people credit for. I think, if I recall, I have to pull up the scores. I could be way wrong. But Coach Smith and I were talking, Chatham only lost to Appomattox by a touchdown this year.
Yeah.
So I think everyone's written down Radford and Appomattox rematch here next week automatically. I think that game's going to be closer. And I think Patrick's going to get Glenver a run for the money tonight.
Patrick County has been putting out a lot of points as of late, like you said.
I don't know if that's what you asked me, but those are the 2 games I'm excited for tonight.
Good enough right there. Gretna will take care of business against Floyd as well. Well, Radford is very storied in the playoffs, but of course we've got to talk out. You know, we can't jump the gun and say, "Oh, they're going to go deep," because there's always time for an upset. But last time Radford faced James River, they won 55-0, and that was the score at the half as well. So, if you're looking for a big time first round upset, I don't think it's going to happen today.
No, on paper, this is a game. I mean, this is a good game for Radford, in one sense, it's not the best, if we're honest, because, you know, we're about to face probably a Chatham or an Appomattox, and then we might potentially play Glenver in the region championship the way things are shaping up. So us starting off a game like this, it may not be the best, but also it's really good because it gets Max Knipe some game time reps.
Yeah.
It gets everyone back in a rhythm after a bye week, because I'm going to tell you right now, the first half of the first quarter, I guarantee it, is not going to be the smoothest for the Cats, because coming off a bye week is always hard. And so it is going to be a good thing tonight, and, you know, we can use that a little later. I got 3 things why I'm really excited about this game to kind of flip that, because I think a lot of people might be at home tonight because they know what's going to happen tonight. But there are some exciting things we can look forward to in this matchup.
Let's take a look at what has happened to James River since Radford has played them. Radford won 55-0 way back when. Since then, they've played 3 games, Glenver, Allegheny, and Patrick County, and that's a gauntlet of a final 4 games, and you throw Radford on top of that. But they lost to Glenver 52-7 the week after Radford, and the week after Glenver, they lost 57-0 to Allegheny, and then lost to Patrick County on the last game of the year, 43-0. Hey, James River started this season 3-0, outscoring opponents 29 points to 14. Not too bad. You're 3-0. Well, the last 7 games, the average score has been 45-3.
Well, as we mentioned the first time we played them, injuries have been a big nemesis to James River. So I think the injury bug has hit them well. We can kind of see it throughout the results, especially the last few weeks.
They have given up 40-plus points in 6 of their last 7 games, and the only non-40-plus point game was a 0-14 loss to Carroll County, who Radford hung 56 on a week ago. So, or 2 weeks ago. So it should be smooth sailing for Radford, but you don't want to say, it's going to guarantee win, because there's never a guaranteed win.
No.
You got to go out there and play the game, and most importantly today, you do not want to get hurt.
Exactly, and that's my key to the game tonight, Nick, is for the Bobcats, you're a better team.
You've already played this team, scored 55 on them in the first half the first time. Don't get hurt tonight. Just play a good, smooth game. Don't do anything extra. Get the job done. Let's move on to next week's playoff game.
Radford, like you said, will either play, if they win today, they will either play Appomattox County or Chatham, and it will be Appomattox County for a fourth time in a row if they prevail and the Bobcats prevail today. It's inevitable. You got to play them. You got to go through them, and well, Radford though does have the better team this year.
I do believe so. I think in the last year we looked at the bracket and we went, oh crap, Appomattox is on our side. I think this year the football team's saying, oh, good, Appomattox is on our side. And so, but again, my eyes are going to be looking at that score along with a lot of other basketball scores during our football game tonight. That I think Chatham's going to give that group a run for the money tonight as well.
We'll keep our eye on scores all across the land, especially in the 2A division of high school football. It's just such an exciting time. What were the playoffs like to you?
Oh, it's the reason why you play the game of football, and the bleachers would normally be a little bit more packed than they were in the regular season. People look forward to it. And when you heard Coach Saunders yell, we're all shivering on the sideline, why is it cold? It's because it's the playoffs. It's all a mental thing. You want to be playing in the cold, just like your Texas Rangers played really well in the coldness and the baseball diamond.
Hey, I was very happy about that, but nothing would make me happier than a Radford victory back on December 9th, where Radford would play in a 2A VHSL state championship. So December 9th is a new season. Radford won the first 10 games of the year. The regular season, they got it done undefeated for the first time since 1986. Shattered records, set marks that will never be broken probably for a long time. But it's a new season, like you said. You throw all of that out the window. Blank slate, 0-0 is the record for both teams. And I talked to Coach Christ on the other side of this break about that. So we'll have a 2-minute break, and then we'll talk to Coach Christ for the first playoff edition of Coach Talk of the 2023 season.
Hello, I'm Karen, owner of Southern Furniture in Radford. We are family owned and operated, and we carry Ashley, Pulaski, Southern Motion, Serta, Catnapper, Von Bassett, and England by Lazy Boy, and many others. Southern Furniture is a proud supporter of Radford Bobcat football. Players, coaches, and family, go Bobcats! Southern Furniture is located at 2110 West Main Street, just 1 mile past the post office in Radford. Go Bobcats!
Hey guys, this is Ali Jennings III, wide receiver for your Virginia Tech Hokies. When I committed to Virginia Tech football, I committed to the best. That's why I chose Harvey's GM in Radford. Why settle for less when you can have the best? Go to Harvey's GM for all of your vehicle needs. Tell them Ali sent you. That's Harvey's GM, Tyler Ave in Radford, or go to their website at harveysgm.com for more info. And as always, go Bobcats!
Bobcat fans, it's game time. Time for friends, food, fun, and football. Where you ask? At McAdoo's, of course. Whether it's before, during, or after the game, come to McAdoo's or have your tailgate party catered with the delicious McAdoo's food you know and love. With 19 locations, there's a McAdoo's wherever you go, including Radford, Blacksburg, Christiansburg, and Salem. McAdoo's is now hiring for all positions. Stop by a location for more information. Check out their daily specials, locations, and catering menu at McAdoo's.net, and we'll see you at the Do's.
Mullins Funeral Home and Crematory, located at 120 West Main Street in Radford, has been part of the New River Valley since 1918 when it was started under the name of Johnson Funeral Home. As a family-owned and operated funeral home, Mullins Funeral Home is still family-owned today. They take pride in offering a warm, welcoming atmosphere to help relax the families they serve during their time of need. You can trust their experienced staff to help you in your most difficult of times. For more information, visit mullinsfuneralhome.com and go Bobcats.
This is Radford High School football on the WRAD Talk Network, 101.7, 103.5, and 1460 AM, and streaming online at WRADradio.com and on the TuneIn app for your phone. Now, more of the Radford Bobcats pregame with head coach Michael Christ. Here is Nick Brown.
Welcome back to the Bobcat pregame show. I'm Nick Brown, sitting across the way from the head man himself, Coach Christ. We are 2 weeks removed from the last week's edition of Coach Talk. And, well, you finally got your open week after 10 straight games. How did it feel, and did you enjoy it?
We did enjoy it. I think it was needed. I think it came, I guess, at the right time, so to speak. You know, knock on wood, we've been fortunate to be fairly healthy, but we're able to get, you know, another guy back with that open week and just kind of heal some bumps and bruises. It was also a time, you know, we got some great workouts in, able to have some practices, but shorten them down and just kind of let everybody recover and heal, but, you know, continue with our growth mindset of getting better each day. And I think we did that.
Well, let's go back 2 weeks ago. You win 56-0 on the road at Carroll County, who's put up some points against other teams. And how impressed were you with your team to buckle down there at the stretch as well to get the shutout and your fourth shutout of the season?
Well, it was, you know, it was exciting. You know, and I think it's may have been the most spirited sideline I've ever been a part of for a 56-0 ball game. And the bottom line is the shutout mattered to our guys. It mattered to the guys on the field at that time. It mattered to the guys on the sidelines. And it was just fun, right? Like, it was fun to see our kids pull so hard for each other, and maybe some kids that typically aren't in that type of situation get the opportunity to go compete and made some plays. I just, you know, I was just super proud, you know, Friday night at Carroll.
Well, let me give you some trivia. That's the first time since the year 2000 that a Radford team has 4+ shutouts in a season. Last time it was done, J.C. Price led the defense for the Bobcats.
Well, I tell you what, then, you know, that's, I guess, high company that this group is in. But, you know, we always say defense is, you know, effort, pursuit of the football. And, you know, it's doing the things that anybody can do. You just have to be willing to do it. And our kids certainly have been willing to play that way.
Well, let's continue the trend of history. Since 1986, no Radford team has had an undefeated regular season. You guys did it in dominant fashion, quite literally not a single close game all season. How proud are you to be part of that history, and how proud are you of your players and the staff?
Well, you know, I am proud to be part of that history, because the history of Radford Bobcat football matters to me. You know, I've said it many times, Coach and Miss Lindenberg kind of built this program and laid the foundation. And I've always felt it was my obligation to former players, but especially to Coach, Miss Lindenberg and his family, to uphold the standard that he set and do things the right way. And obviously on the field success is part of that. So I am proud of that, because that's something that's really important to me on a personal level. But I'm really proud of our staff and our kids, because it's hard to do. I always say it's hard to win a high school football game, and so much goes into it, 7 days a week to get ready for Friday. And the fact that they were able to do that 10 straight weeks against quality people, getting everybody's best shot, you know, says a lot about this group and how tough of a team, how hardworking our staff is. Just, I couldn't be more proud of them, and they certainly deserve all that credit.
We enter the playoffs finally. It feels like it's been a long time coming this season with, like you said, 10 straight games and no breaks in between them. You finally get a break in between leading into the playoffs. You get Max Knight back. How big is it to have the leading receiver for the Bobcats back?
We're excited, you know, to have Max back. You know, with those 2 weeks, I felt like guys really, you know, maybe got some opportunities and then played really well and took advantage of those opportunities. And I think we continued to develop as a team, and then him coming back is just gelled right in again. So I think, you know, the beauty is we are a better football team heading into this week 11 than we were, I guess, heading into week 8, which means everybody continued to get better. The beauty is Max has had 2 phenomenal weeks of practice. So it is great to have him back. But it also, during that time stretch, those other guys didn't flinch, right? They stepped up, made the plays that they've been capable of. And, we just had guys step in and not bat an eye. And that was fun to watch also.
Well, a guy can't break a single season receiving yards record without having a good quarterback, and that is Landon Clark, who is off to Elon. And since we have last talked, Landon Clark committed to Elon and is going on to collegiate football next season. What went into that decision, and how proud are you of that young man?
I'm proud. I'm happy for him. Recruiting is really hard, harder than it's ever been with the transfer portal. We have other guys that are going to play college football, and I continue to work and do everything I can for those guys. But as a coach, when a player finds the right spot for them, and he obviously had a lot of offers on the table and a lot to navigate in that process. But it's a long process. It's an up and down process. It can be a little bit of an emotional roller coaster. But to find the spot that was right for him, and a lot of factors go into that. And man, what a quality program Elon is, and to have an absolute full ride at the Division I level, man, speaks to his skill set. But he's a winner. He is an absolute winner, and Landon means a ton to our program. And, obviously we're fortunate, but you're right. You mentioned the receivers breaking all those records. Essentially it's been 3, right? Marcel, and then Parker broke Marcel's, and then now Max broke that. And, there's one common denominator in all that, right? And that's number 7.
Well, you get 2 weeks off, and now you got to regroup everybody. You got a guy who's committed. You get a receiver back. You've got so much going on the last 2 weeks. You didn't even play a game last week, entering the playoffs. How do you regroup the guys and get them ready back into the game week and game prep for a game?
It's really just doing the things we do. Our Mondays are our Mondays, right? There's a certain thing we believe in, that we have to do things a certain way on Monday to get better. And then it's on to Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, and the days just kind of build on each other. And I think our guys just really bought into that concept, right? We don't talk about opponents. I don't know that we've mentioned the word James River one time this week. It's just really, it's just a workman-like mentality for us, because we know we can't have success on Friday if we don't take care of the simple things Monday through Thursday. And, to me, the challenge as the season gets longer is you can't grow tired of doing the simple things, the fundamental things that really just make you better and make you the type of team, that we've been.
Well, Coach Chris, one more time before the playoffs begin, how important is it for fans to come out and watch this team throughout the playoffs?
It's huge, right? I mean, I think I realize weather can get tough in the playoffs. So, I just ask that, the community continue to support us. You supported us so well all year. Let's keep that up in the playoffs. It does mean something to our guys. Playing for the community means something to us. Radford's a special place. And so just continue to do it no matter what the weather is, no matter how cold it is. We'll have plenty of hot chocolate. I assume they'll have plenty of hot chocolate at the concession stand, and world famous Bobcat chili to keep you warm. So come on out, support these guys. It means a lot to them.
Well, thank you, Coach Chris, for this week's edition, the first playoff edition of Coach Talk of the 2023 season. Hopefully, and we will have many more to come for the rest of the playoff season. On the other side of this break, the playoffs begin between Radford and James River, and you can catch it only here on WRAD.
Step foot inside Brad's Barbershop in Radford, and you'll be transported back to a time when men were men and getting a straight razor shave and a haircut is something that mattered. You can expect the service at Brad's to be top-notch, being locally owned and operated. Brad is available daily by appointment, and you can reach them at 838-2109. That's 540-838-2109. Brad's Barbershop is a proud supporter of Radford High School athletics. Go Bobcats!
Hey guys, this is Ali Jennings III, wide receiver for your Virginia Tech Hokies. When I committed to Virginia Tech football, I committed to the best. That's why I chose Harvey's GM in Radford. Why settle for less when you can have the best? Go to Harvey's GM for all of your vehicle needs. Tell them Ali sent you. That's Harvey's GM, Tyler Ave in Radford, or go to their website at harveysgm.com for more info. And as always, go Bobcats.
Hello, I'm Karen, owner of Southern Furniture in Radford. We are family owned and operated, and we carry Ashley, Pulaski, Southern Motion, Serta, Catnapper, Von Bassett, and England by Lazy Boy, and many others. Southern Furniture is a proud supporter of Radford Bobcat football. Players, coaches, and family, go Bobcats. Southern Furniture is located at 2110 West Main Street, just 1 mile past the post office in Radford. Go Bobcats.
The Office of Dr. Dennis Vaughn is a proud supporter of Radford High School sports and wishes the Bobcats the best of luck this season. Dr. Vaughn has been a Radford orthodontist for 36 years, improving the smiles and confidence of countless patients. Dr. Vaughn and his team salute our team, the Radford High School Bobcats. Good luck this season and continue to make your school, your parents, and your community proud. Go Bobcats! From the Office of Dr. Dennis Vaughn, orthodontist, Radford.
You're listening to Radford High School football on WRAD Radford, WRAD FM Radford, your home for Bobcat football. 101.7, 103.5, and 1460 AM, the WRAD Talk Network.
Welcome back to Bobcat Stadium from the banks of the New River. I'm Nick Brown, to my left, Timothy Worrells. We are getting set here for the national anthem, but first, we'll have the teams run onto the field here. The Bobcats taking it in their all-black uniforms with black helmets, black jerseys, black pants, 2 white stripes up either side of the pants, white numbers on front and back, gold Bobcats across the chest with 2 white stripes on either side of the shoulder. For the helmets, Radford will have a black helmet with a white Rockin' R and a gold stripe down the middle with 2 white stripes accompanying either side. For James River, they're wearing their usual road jerseys, black helmets, white jerseys, and black pants. They have the red JR logo on either side of the helmet, and they have red stripes going up either side. If I'm not mistaken, they had some pretty cool jerseys a couple years ago, James River. I think it was like digital camo.
Oh, they did. Yeah,
Yes.
You're right. They were
Yes.
sweet.
Yes. Well, Radford finally getting paid back for making back-to-back trips to James River with back-to-back trips here to Bobcat Stadium from the Knights in the same season. We'll step aside here for the national anthem, and when we come back, we'll have kickoff between Radford and James River for the first round of the Region 2C playoffs for the 2023 season. Boy, we cannot wait to get ready through these playoffs. 5 wins away from glory for the Bobcats, and it all starts on the other side of this 1.5-minute break on WRAD.
Mullins Funeral Home and Crematory, located at 120 West Main Street in Radford, has been part of the New River Valley since 1918 when it was started under the name of Johnson Funeral Home as a family-owned and operated funeral home. Mullins Funeral Home is still family-owned today. They take pride in offering a warm, welcoming atmosphere to help relax the families they serve during their time of need. You can trust their experienced staff to help you in your most difficult of times. For more information, visit mullinsfuneralhome.com and go Bobcats.
Bobcat fans, it's game time. Time for friends, food, fun, and football. Where, you ask? At McAdoo's, of course. Whether it's before, during, or after the game, come to McAdoo's or have your tailgate party catered with the delicious McAdoo's food you know and love. With 19 locations, there's a McAdoo's wherever you go, including Radford, Blacksburg, Christiansburg, and Salem. McAdoo's is now hiring for all positions. Stop by a location for more information. Check out their daily specials, locations, and catering menu at macadoos.net, and we'll see you at the Doos.
Hey guys, this is Ali Jennings III, wide receiver for your Virginia Tech Hokies. When I committed to Virginia Tech football, I committed to the best. That's why I chose Harvey's GM in Radford. Why settle for less when you can have the best? Go to Harvey's GM for all of your vehicle needs. Tell them Ali sent you. That's Harvey's GM, Tyler Ave in Radford, or go to their website at harveysgm.com for more info. And as always, go Bobcats.
You're listening to Radford Bobcats football on the WRAD Talk Network. Here once again are Radford High School alums Nick Brown and Timothy Worrells.
Welcome back to the New River City. I'm Nick Brown. To my left, Timothy Worrells, getting you ready for round one of the VHSL Region 2C playoffs between the one-seeded Radford Bobcats and the 8-seeded James River Knights. I'm Nick Brown. He's Timothy Worrells. Timothy, what are your three things that you are excited for today?
Three things I'm excited for tonight. Number one, it is playoff time. You say the name playoffs, it's always exciting. No matter the opponent, it's time for the playoffs. Number two, number 18's back on the field for the Bobcats is going to be good and a great opportunity for Max to get some game time reps here this evening and see how good he really is feeling. And then number three, we got more records on the line that we're keeping some eyes on, as Max needs 12 yards to pass Marcel Baylor and 51 to pass Parker for the full season, including the playoff receiving yardage record. Landon, probably not going to break it tonight, but he's only a little over 700 yards to break the full season passing yardage record from last season. So, Nick, playoffs, Max, records. Tonight's still going to be an exciting game.
Certainly will. 12 minutes on the scoreboard. James River will tee it up. They won the toss, and they will kick this ball away. The ball is placed watermelon style. What I mean by that is it's not teed up. So they're sitting on the flat side. And to boot this ball away for the James River Knights, number 60, Caleb Kenyon. Trots up to the football, swings a leg through, and it's a wobbler that's going to wiggle its way out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Didn't elect for the onside kick. Instead, just swung the leg. And that is where Radford will start with the football, with a couple extra yardages tacked on with the penalty.
Yeah, that penalty is usually a big one in college and the pros, but, he kicked it out near the 30, and the ball be placed at the 35. So pretty wise, to be honest. Don't give Bobcats an opportunity to break one loose to start tonight.
All right, Landon Clark in the gun. J.D. Grubb making his return after being sick 2 weeks ago, had to miss the Carroll County game. And to the right, his two wide receivers, one to his left. One of the receivers to the right is number 18, Max Knipe, making his grand return as well. Shotgun snap for the opening play, a handoff to J.D. Grubb, and he just runs into a brick wall right up the middle. Only a gain of one, and in there for the tackle is number 58, Jaden Alston, for the tackle.
On the way here tonight, Nick, I was thinking about tonight's game and kind of the plan that Coach Chris might have. And personally, I'm hoping we see a lot of running plays tonight to get that running game going.
Clark in the gun, Grubb on his right hip, shotgun snap, drops back to pass, pressured up the middle, steps up into the pocket, rolling out to his left. He's going to use his legs. He's got a blocker set up. He's at the 40, now at the 50, at the 45, and tiptoes out of bounds at the 37-yard line, maybe at the 39, officially where they'll mark him out of bounds. And into James River territory, he scampers for the first big play of the game.
Wise play right there by Landon Clark. He scrambled, didn't try to juke past the defender, just slowly trotted out of bounds, lived to play the next down.
Shotgun snap for Clark from the 40, drops back. It's a screen pass to Woodard. Blocker set up, and he's going to tiptoe the sideline, burst the speed down the sideline, bruise his shoulder, and he's into the red zone, rumbling his way down to the 18. A huge completion right there. That's going to go for 20-plus yards.
Huge completion that resulted from a huge block by number 52, Charlie Davis. Woodard was kind of dancing around finding a gap, but then all of a sudden Charlie literally brought a guy up into the air and crushed him for a little bit more yards there.
Warp speed for the Bobcats after back-to-back 20-plus yard plays. It's a screen pass to Max Knipe. He has to high point it, catches it. Cuts it back at the 15. Gives a stiff arm at the 10. Shimmying his way to the 5. Diving for the pylon. Did he score? He did. Touchdown, Redtown. And the Bobcats are on the board. Striking first. 1 minute, 5 seconds elapsed time. It's 6-0 Radford.
Welcome back, number 18, going 19 yards for the touchdown. Every part of his injury a few weeks ago just got tested there. He had to go up in the air. He made a few juke moves and then a dive to the end zone. Max is back.
And he looks mighty fine on the sideline as well. Clark will hold. Jackson Wade to snap it and to kick the ball through for the Bobcats today, Lewis Webster. Clean snap, clean hold. Kick is away, and the kick is good. Radford 7. James River, 0. 1 minute, 5 seconds into this ball game. All too easy for Radford. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. When we come back, James River gets their first crack at it here on WRAD.
Step foot inside Brad's Barbershop in Radford, and you'll be transported back to a time when men were men and getting a straight razor shave and a haircut is something that mattered. You can expect the service at Brad's to be top-notch, being locally owned and operated. Brad is available daily by appointment, and you can reach them at 838-2109. That's 540-838-2109. Brad's Barbershop is a proud supporter of Radford High School athletics. Go Bobcats!
Now back to more Radford High School football on your home for the Bobcats, WRAD.
Welcome back to Bobcat Stadium and on Norman G. Linderberg Field. Tonight, Radford leads 7-0, 1 minute and 5 seconds into this football game after a 4-play, 65-yard touchdown drive that ended in a 19-yard pass from Landon Clark to Max Knipe. That is Max's 11th receiving touchdown of the season and Clark's 29th passing touchdown and 50th total touchdown of the year. I'm Nick Brown. To my left, Timothy Worrells, as Eli Goff to tee this ball up and send this one away. It's been the biggest leg for Radford on kickoffs this season, and this one's going to be end over end. It's going to land at the 15 and into the hands of James Rivers, number 3, Trey Taylor, and he's going to take it out to the 25. Ball came out. Radford says they have it, and they do. Bryant Weaver stripped him, and Jaden Hendricks came up with the football, and Radford will have it at the 24.
Yeah, Radford juiced up and excited for that one. I mean, that's a big-time turnover. Bobcats coming out. We kind of wondered what their energy would be like knowing the opponent that they're playing tonight. But this whole sideline is juiced up, ready to roll. The people in the bleachers are up and cheering loud. I mean, this is playoff football. Great play right there by the special teams for the Bobcats.
4 wide out split by the O-line. Ball at the near hash. Radford working left to right on your radio dial. Clark in the gun on the left hip. It's Grubb. He takes the snap and pulls it out on a play action pass. The ball bounces up into the hands of Sincere Taylor, and they're going to say incomplete. Must have grazed the grass. I thought it bounced off his foot and into his hands. It would have been a nifty play, but nonetheless, they say it's incomplete. Brings up second down and 10 ball remaining at the James River 24 after the fumble on the kickoff. Radford leads 7-0, 10:44 on the clock in the first quarter. A handoff up the middle for J.D. Grubb. He's got blockers, and he's tripped up just at the 11, and that's where he's laid to rest. An outstretched tackle by number 32, Sam Wilson, for James River. Makes it first down and 10, and that is the second first down, Brad's Barbershop first down of the game. Shotgun snap for Clark, drops back, steps up in the pocket, directing traffic, rolls out to the right. He's got a wide open man, but gunned it over Luke Woodard's head in the back of the end zone. Incomplete. Brings up second down and 10 from the 11.
You're right, Nick. He had Luke Woodard right there in the back of the end zone, but just that cannon was a little too powerful right there. No chance for Luke Woodard, but nonetheless, Bobcats probably going to be looking in the same direction.
Tonight's sponsors: Southern Furniture, Harvey's GM, Brad's Barbershop, Radford Drug, McAdoo's, Mullins Funeral Home, and Dr. Dennis Vaughn. Thank you to all of our sponsors. As there's a shotgun snap, a handoff to Grubb. He's got wiggle room, diving for the pylon, and could not get there. A yard short on the second down run, and it's a gain of 9. Brings up third down and goal from the 1.
Another great run by J.D. Grubb. He's run the ball really well before he got sick, and he's already starting back where he left off.
3 carries for 25 yards already. Shotgun snap, another handoff to Grubb. Throws the shoulder, and did he break the plane?
Yes.
He did, submerging into the end zone for 6 more, and it's a touchdown, Radtown, with 9:59 to go in the first quarter. 13-0. Radford leads after 8 total plays.
J.D. Grubb did a lot of work on that short field possession there by the Bobcats. He deserved that handoff once again and got the reward. Welcome back, J.D.
The extra point to cap off J.D. Grubb's 5th rushing touchdown of the season is up and through. 14-0 with just 1 second under 10 minutes to go in this first quarter. Bobcats up 2 scores early here in the round 1 of the 2023 high school football playoffs here on WRAD.
Mullins Funeral Home and Crematory, located at 120 West Main Street in Radford, has been part of the New River Valley since 1918 when it was started under the name of Johnson Funeral Home as a family-owned and operated funeral home. Mullins Funeral Home is still family-owned today. They take pride in offering a warm, welcoming atmosphere to help relax the families they serve during their time of need. You can trust their experienced staff to help you in your most difficult of times. For more information, visit mullinsfuneralhome.com and go Bobcats.
On the air and online. Now back to more Radford High School football on the WRAD Talk Network.
5 plays, 24 yards, 49 seconds elapsed time on that last drive. Radford leads 14-0 in round 1 of the Virginia High School playoffs. I'm Nick Brown. To my left, Timothy Whirls here at Bobcat Stadium in Norman G. Linderberg Field. The ball is teed up at the 40 for Eli Goff, and he swings the lefty foot through. It's an end-over-end kick that's received there by Wilson, and he will weasel his way out to the 35, where he is finally dropped at the 34. Check that. That was Trey Taylor on the return. He fumbled his first kickoff return, did not fumble that one. And pretty good field position for James River to start this drive.
I thought it was a really good kick return by him right there and almost broke loose. If he would have gotten to that edge, he had a lane. The Bobcats closed the middle there, but he had a lane on the left, but thankfully the Bobcats wrapped him up, brought him down, and James River off to work for the first time tonight on offense.
9:53 to go here in the first quarter. 14-0 is our score. The first time the Radford defense is on the field, and they have a 7-man front to go up against the big offensive line set up for James River Knights. The first play from scrimmage is a run right up the middle for Maddox Woodard, and it's a gain of 1 out to the 35, brings up second down and 9.
A lot of people in the press box just said, ooh, on that hit. It was number 59, Dawson Martin, come off the end. Big boom right there to eliminate any kind of positive game besides 1 yard right there.
Camden Saunders standing in for quarterback. Check that 9 and 8 in this font looks so similar. It's number 8, Evan Byers. Camden Saunders moved out. Saunders did take some quarterback snaps, though, the first time these two teams met. First pass play attempt of the game is completed, but it's a gain of nothing as wiped out at the line of scrimmage by Sam Handa-Barani was number 24, Nathan Stewart for the Knights.
Yeah, pass goes nowhere right there. Already a 3rd and long. Bobcat defense have been one of the strongest things for the Bobcats this year. We talk about the offense and all the yardage, over 400 yards a game. We got to talk about the Bobcat defense only giving up 8 points a game for the whole entire season. Right now, this James River Knights are having trouble finding any room against this defense.
3rd down and 9. 5 Bobcats stand at the line to gain. The other 6 at the line of scrimmage. Pistol snap, under pressure, flipping it out. It's intercepted. Max Knipe takes it right out of the air at the 30, 25, 20, to the 10, 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Redtown. A pick 6 by Max Knipe all the way to the house with 8:32 to go in the first quarter. Radford extends the lead to 20-0.
That was the easiest pass Max has received all year, and I'm talking even when he's on offense right there. Hit him right in the chest. And the Jets got going, and when number 18's Jet gets going, no one is catching them. Great pick 6 by Max. Hey, by the way, Max, welcome back again.
Old Reliable punches it in for his first defensive touchdown of the season. His second total interception on the year as well. Clean snap, clean hold, kick is away, and kick is through 21-0 with 8:32 to go in the first quarter. 2 offensive touchdowns, 1 defensive touchdown, and the guys in black and gold lead big through the opening minutes of this round 1 of the Virginia High School playoffs on WRAD.
Hello, I'm Karen, owner of Southern Furniture in Radford. We are family owned and operated, and we carry Ashley, Pulaski, Southern Motion, Serta, Catnapper, Von Bassett, and England by Lazy Boy, and many others. Southern Furniture is a proud supporter of Radford Bobcat football. Players, coaches, and family, go Bobcats! Southern Furniture is located at 2110 West Main Street, just 1 mile past the post office in Radford. Go Bobcats!
You're listening to Radford Bobcats football on the WRAD Talk Network. Here once again are Radford High School alums Nick Brown and Timothy Whirls.
I'm Nick Brown. He's Timothy Whirls. Thank you for tuning back in with 8:32 to go in the first quarter. Folks, we have 3 minutes and 28 seconds into this football game. Radford leads 21-0. 2 offensive touchdowns for the Bobcats, 2 forced turnovers, and a defensive touchdown. That was the last one, a pick 6 by Max Knipe just a few seconds ago. It's ugly.
Well, my wife would say I'm wrong a lot, Nick, but I will say I was wrong tonight. In the pregame, I said it might be a little slow start for the Bobcats because of the bye week, but the opposite.
This is the fastest start by far for Radford. Pooching the kick is Luigi Puglisi, and that ball is going to be received at the 25. The ball just died a yard short of the out of bounds, and hopping on it was Ricky Bailey. James River was just going to let that thing go out of bounds, and Ricky Bailey hustled his big old body down there and dove on the football, and Radford will have it at the 25. Unreal. I'm going to call him Poochie Puglisi.
Ricky Bailey's been everywhere on defense here lately, and he's been playing well, and it's good to see it continue on.
Ball will start at the 25-yard line at the far hash. Shotgun snap for Clark, looking over the middle, rolls out patiently to his right, flipping one into the end zone for Brandon Thompson, who hauls it in. Touchdown, Radford. Redtown, 27-0. 8:23 to go in this first quarter.
Great pass by Landon to Brandon. Brandon's been playing so good this season, and he's a great tight end. And sometimes in the offense, it doesn't get the opportunities they want, but every opportunity he gets, he capitalizes on. Big old Brandon Thompson, 28, getting a big touchdown for the Cats tonight.
Brandon Thompson's 3rd receiving touchdown of the season. Only his 9th total catch of the year. Clean snap, clean hold. Kick is through, and Lewis Webster is going to need an ice bath after this one. 28-0 with 8:23 to go in the first quarter. Another 30-second break on the other side of this one. How will Radford score again here on WRAD?
Hey guys, this is Ali Jennings III, wide receiver for your Virginia Tech Hokies. When I committed to Virginia Tech football, I committed to the best. That's why I chose Harvey's GM in Radford. Why settle for less when you can have the best? Go to Harvey's GM for all of your vehicle needs. Tell them Ali sent you. That's Harvey's GM, Tyler Ave in Radford, or go to their website at harveysgm.com for more info. And as always, go Bobcats.
Now back to more Radford High School football on your home for the Bobcats, WRAD.
8:23 to go in the first quarter, and folks, it's 28-0. All right, Timothy, there's not much else to say.
Great start by the Bobcats.
Yeah, it's a great start by the Bobcats. This is by far their best start. By the way, folks, Radford led 55-0 at the end of the first half. The first time they played James River, they're going for that record again.
Yeah, they're on track with it for sure. And at this point, I mean, there's nothing you can do. I mean, fumbles and muffin kickoffs and all those things. I mean, Bobcats are just playing the game tonight.
This ball is received by James River, and an immediate kneel down at the 41. It was just a pooch into the middle of the field that time by William Steele. Or Eli Goff, my bad. They switch numbers so much. So James River, for their second drive of the game, they trail 28-0 with 8:21 to go in the first quarter. How in the world does that happen? Well, I'll get you caught up with that after this first down play at the 41-yard line. In the pistol, Evan Byers motions a man from left to right, takes the snap, handoff, and bouncing it out left side, goes nowhere in the backfield for a tackle for loss. Who else? The Cyclone. It is Charlie Davis in there for a loss of 2.
Yeah, Maddox Woodyard right there, just a sophomore getting a piece of some senior action right there. 52, Charlie Davis came through the line untouched and laid the boom on him right there.
So Radford has scored on a pick 6, a pass play from Landon Clark to Max Knipe, a pass play from Landon Clark to Brandon Thompson, and a J.D. Grubb touchdown run. A forced fumble and an interception and a recovered pooch kick by Radford is how they've gotten that football. And here was almost another pick 6. Cooper Doyle had the ball in his hands going the other way, but he was thinking too much about the points before he corralled that football.
Yeah, the end zone was waving at him the whole time he was going in for that interception. Just took his eyes off it for a second. Ball went through his hands. Man, if he would have brought that in, he could have walked into the end zone for more points for the Bobcats.
3rd down and 12. Ball is at the 39-yard line. Byers in the pistol. Behind him, Maddox Woodyard, the running back. A sophomore duo in the backfield with 2 wideouts to the left. Play action pass, immediate roll out to the left, and Byers is dropped by Ricky Bailey back at the 28. Ricky Bailey has really come on to his own here of late, and he has been phenomenal the last few weeks on defense. Brings up 4th down and 22.
Quarterback had no chance right there. You got a guy like Reese Honecker coming your way, big boy coming with a head of steam. Reese is really quick for his size, but then you got Ricky Bailey, who's just, strong, quick, and just kind of got that nasty personality as a nose guard, nasty in the football sense, and then rolls them down to the ground for the sack. No chance right there. Great job by the Bobcat defense.
Radford shows like they're going to come after this punt. They are, and they do get a piece of it. They do get the block, and it's scooped up and dropped immediately. Catching the football for Radford, number 33, Alex Roberson. And he didn't know what he was supposed to do with it. He was destroyed.
I think he thought because it was blocked, it was a dead ball. And, he won't forget that now because he stood there. That was like a tackling drill right there. Even Coach Chris is grinning on the sideline as he coaches them up.
Oh, everybody giving him a hard time right now. 1st down and 10 for Radford after the block punt. A toss out to the left for Sincere Taylor. He's got one good block set up and shimmies his way for a gain of 7 on 1st down. This drive started at the 36-yard line, and he ended up at the 29.
Let's get Sincere involved in the game right there. I like that. Get them all involved. You also got number 10, Jaden Hendricks out there. Caught a couple of balls for the last few weeks for the Cats.
2nd down and 3. A distribution of the rock up the middle for J.D. Grubb, who shifts course into the middle of the field, and a 1st down brought to you by Brad's Barbershop.
Tell you what, the James River defensive line really coming down the line hard right there, making the Bobcat offensive line have to move pretty quick to give J.D. any running room.
Gain of 6 on that run play, and a toss out to the right for Max Knipe, who takes it to the middle of the field again. This time he's corralled and dropped at the 17-yard line. They'll give him an extra yard of help, and it brings up 2nd down and 5.
Max's first step is so quick. I think people just kind of underestimate it right there. He caught the screen and immediately got to the middle of the field. He is a quick guy.
5 wide for Landon Clark, who drops back to pass, looks left, dances into the pocket, 3-man pressure. They step up, almost get after him, curls out to his left, looks to the back of the end zone, guns it to Max Knipe, wide open catch, touchdown, Radtown. Max Knipe's 3rd total touchdown of the game, his 2nd receiving, and Radford leads 34-0. With 5:43 to go in the 1st quarter.
Landon Clark does it the best. His pocket presence is second to none in the whole state. Right there, he was calm, eyes downfield. Throws it 18 yards to number 18 for yet again another touchdown. By the way, Nick, Max, welcome back.
Clean snap, clean hold. Kick is away, and kick is good. 35-0. Radford leading with 5:43 to go in the 1st quarter. We'll step aside for 30 seconds here on WRAD.
The office of Dr. Dennis Vaughn is a proud supporter of Radford High School sports and wishes the Bobcats the best of luck this season. Dr. Vaughn has been a Radford orthodontist for 36 years, improving the smiles and confidence of countless patients. Dr. Vaughn and his team salute our team, the Radford High School Bobcats. Good luck this season and continue to make your school, your parents, and your community proud. Go Bobcats! From the office of Dr. Dennis Vaughn, orthodontist, Radford.
On the air and online. Now back to more Radford High School football on the WRAD Talk Network.
4 plays, 36 yards, 1 minute, 9 seconds off the scoreboard is the touchdown drive that was just capped off by an 18-yard touchdown pass from Landon Clark to Max Knipe. Clark now with 3 passing touchdowns on the game. Max Knipe with 2 receiving touchdowns. He also has a pick 6 to his name as well. Radford leads James River 35-0 here in the 1st quarter with 5:43 to play in the opening frame. Teeing the ball up for the Bobcats. William Steele getting his first attempt with the football, pooches this one into the middle of the field, lands at the 35. It is caught and taking it right up the middle of the field is the man with the sweetest mullet I've ever seen today, number 52, Gabe Staten. And yeah, I gotta say that's one of the best mullets I've ever seen.
Corian Ferguson right there with the big tackle right there. I was gonna say, Nick, at first you said the best mullet you've seen today.
Well,
I want to see how many mullets you see on a daily basis there.
Well, yeah, I kind of tripped up there. No, I don't see. You don't see a lot of Virginia Tech.
I mean, if you go up to West Virginia now we're talking.
Handoff up the middle, and it's a great gain of 10 right up the seam for number 2, Maddox Woodyard, and he takes it for James River Knights for a first down out to the Radford 50, or to the middle of the field at the 50-yard line.
That was a good run. Good open lane right there. Bobcats just brought the pressure on a different gap. They found the right gap right there and got a first down. A little positivity for the Knights.
Ball at the far hash. James River working right to left here on their third drive of the game. Their first one ended in a pick six. Second one ended in a block punt. A toss out to the left, a screen pass caught by Josiah Clark, and he is upended at the 47. Still diving forward, though, for positive yards. A gain of 3 on first down. Brings up second down and 7.
Clark on the tackle, and Clark with the catch.
It's poetry.
Had to say it.
It's like when Josh Allen of the Jacksonville Jaguars, middle linebacker, takes on Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills.
True. Every broadcaster's best game.
Or worst
How many
nightmare.
times we can say, right?
4 wide out split by the O-line. Dropping back Byer. Steps up into the pocket. He's going to take off running, and he is converged upon, but still fell forward for a positive gain of about 1. He's going to stay down. He is, going to be helped up by his teammates, and he shakes it off. Tough hit there, and good toughness there shown by quarterback number 1 for the James River Knights. Brings up third down and 6. Very manageable for the Knights.
Very tough. Let me tell you at home, it was same Hannah Bronny, Charlie Davis, Ricky Bailey, all right there to bring them down at the same time.
4 wide out split in the pistol. It's Byers. Play action pass. No, deliver the rock right up the middle. And escaping free out to the 30 and still rumbling inside the 28 is number 2, Maddox Woodyard. He's got 2 phenomenal runs here on this drive.
Bobcats better be careful. They got to keep everything clean here. 35-0. Here's the deal. You got a lot of your starters still in the games the first quarter, and you're going to start giving film to future opponents in the playoffs. And if you show some weaknesses now, you better believe that better teams are going to capitalize it starting next week.
Gain of 18 on that run right up the gut out to the 29-yard line. First down and 10 at the 29 for James River. A sweeping handoff to the right goes nowhere except to the line of scrimmage. 4 Bobcats get there on the tackle. Ricky Bailey, Reese Honaker, believe that was also Isaiah Austin and Dawson Martin on the tackle. Second down and 10 after the no gainer.
When you talk about pursuing all guys to the ball, it's exactly what the Bobcats did. You had to rattle off 4 to 5 names right there because so many Bobcats get into the ball quick.
2:58 and rolling here in the first quarter. In the gun, it's Byers. On his right hip, Sam Wilson takes the snap, drops back, toss over the middle, into the dirt. It goes incomplete. Brings up third down and 10. You know, James River is sending in their play calls with their wide receiver. They're really afraid that Michigan might be in the stands today, and they don't want any of these signs stolen at all today.
My question, never mind. We're not getting down that one.
By the way, Jim Harbaugh today suspended from the sidelines for the rest of the year.
Yep.
That's big time. Byers in the pistol. Behind him, Maddox Woodyard for third down and 10. Takes the snap, handoff up the middle, and Woodyard is turned back for a loss of 3 with the initial hit. Dawson Martin and Reese Honaker finished him off.
How many more coaches do you think are guilty of that exact same thing?
I think it says something that not a lot of coaches have come out in against Michigan.
I think it's what took the Big Ten for so long to do something, because they're like, if we open this can of worms, we might have a lot more cases coming out.
Hey, Appomattox might have sent some extra coaching staff here today, or Chatham as well. Spy on the Bobcats. Just kidding. Fourth down and 13. Appomattox would never, by the way. Very great coaching staff over there. They do it the right way. 4th and 13. Byers just lobbing this one deep, and it's incomplete. Bryant Weaver went up for the interception, but it slipped through his hands. And fortunately for him, Radford would have had the ball within their own 10. It's a turnover on downs in Radford territory, and they will have it at the 32. Great drive by James River there, though, after a couple of successful runs. So 32-yard line. This is the worst field position for Radford today. Trips to the left for Clark, who drops back, drops the ball on the ground, picks up, just gets rid of it to Jaden Hendricks, who caught it on a screen pass, jukes out a guy, now shimmying his way out to the 46. They turned a horrid play into a great play.
An absolutely horrible play right there. Landon Clark wasn't no clean snap right there. He had 5 guys coming. It's a screen play, but he's so quick. He picked the ball up one hand, didn't have to get the laces right. He flipped it out there right there to Jaden Hendricks and got a first down.
A gain of 16. That's a Brad's Barbershop first down. 1:36 and rolling here in the first quarter. Radford up 35-0. Clark in the gun with 2 wideouts to the left. The handoff up the middle for J.D. Grubb. He gets about 3 on the churning run. James Rivers' interior defensive line is not the worst in the league.
No, and good for number 58 out there. Jaden Alston gets up, clapping his hand with a little energy right there. He's not going down without a fight tonight.
4 wide out split for Clark, who drops back, steps up in the pocket, lobbing one deep, going for Luke Woodard at the 10-yard line. It is broken up at the last second, but there is a flag dropped right there at the 10. Got there a little too early, was the DB, and Radford will be set up with this pass interference call.
Hate to be this Bobcat right now, but I disagree with that call.
I thought it was great coverage there.
Great coverage. The ball was just 2 yards behind right there. Great pass by Lane. It's just how it ended up. And that's just one of those bang-bang plays. You got to give the DB some credit. He's doing all that work out there.
Trey Taylor getting a explanation for his crime. I agree with you. I thought that was pretty excellent coverage right there.
But the good thing is we are a Bobcat, and we'll take it as the referee marches the ball forward.
Ball placed at the 37 on James River territory at the near hash. Trips to the left for Clark, 1 to the right. The 1 to the right is Max Knipe, and Grubb is in the backfield as well. The trio of receivers bunched up to the left. 1st and 10, shotgun snap, sweeping handoff to the left. It's a stretch play for Grubb, who's taken it to the far sideline, and a flag is thrown at the interior of the line of scrimmage, and it's going to come back for a holding. It was still only a gain of 5, but it's going to come back no matter what with 59 seconds to go in this first quarter.
Yeah, I just want to see the Bobcats. I'm a broken record. We've got to get some progress here, running the ball. And so far, even tonight, I mean, we had a short field possession right there, and JD had about 2 or 3 carries, got us into the end zone. But other than that, I mean, there's just not much going right now.
Middle of the hashes for Landon Clark and company. He's got 4 wide out split. Grubb accompanying him in the backfield. Dropping back, pressured immediately. He just has to get rid of it. Throws it to the far sideline, and it falls incomplete. He was hit rather rudely there as he got rid of the football by Ryder Ward, who helps him up as well.
The defensive linemen for the Knights are not giving up tonight. I mean, they are still coming, running off the ball, applying pressure. And that time they had 2 or 3 guys get through the line pretty quickly. And like you said, Nick, Landon got hit on that throw as it sailed out of bounds.
2nd down and 20, ball at the 47-yard line. Radford has to get to the 27 to convert this. Shotgun snap, pump fake, and now toss to the left for Sincere Taylor, and the turf monster ate him up as Taylor blew a tire behind the 50-yard line. So it's a loss of about 5 back to the Radford 48, and it brings up 3rd and 25.
Not the cleanest pass to get out to Sincere. Is thrown kind of below the shin on his back foot. So he tried to catch it, plant his feet quickly, and twist his body back to the right direction. And like you said, Nick, just the turf monster got him. He slipped, and negative yardage there on that screenplay.
3rd and 25, ball at the 48. Radford has to get to the 27 of James River. Roll out to the right for Clark immediately. Surveying, pressured, spinning his way, juking his way, somehow breaking defense, and then is destroyed at the 50. What a combo tackle there for the hit. Leading the charge, Jaden Alston. He's fired up, all out of sorts after that hit. 56, Kingston Bean laid the boom there as Clark was unsuspecting at the 50.
Yeah, just a scary move right there. Landon was able to pretty much break 3 tackles there, but on the spin move, he had a defender coming full steam, and he met him right on that spin move right there. Just I want Landon to be careful tonight. We're up 35-0. Don't need to do any extra moves, guys.
35-0 at the end of the first quarter. Radford scored all 5 touchdowns in the first 7 minutes of the game. We'll step aside for 30 seconds, and when we come back, second quarter of action here for the round 1 of the 2023 Virginia High School Playoffs on WRAD.
Bobcat fans, it's game time. Time for friends, food, fun, and football. Where you ask? At Moncado's, of course. Whether it's before, during, or after the game, come to Moncado's or have your tailgate party catered with the delicious Moncado's food you know and love. With 19 locations, there's a Moncado's wherever you go, including Radford, Blacksburg, Christiansburg, and Salem. Moncado's is now hiring for all positions. Stop by a location for more information. Check out their daily specials, locations, and catering menu at moncado's.net, and we'll see you at the Do's.
You're listening to Radford Bobcats football on the WRAD Talk Network. Here once again are Radford High School alums Nick Brown and Timothy Worrells.
12 minutes on the scoreboard here to start the second quarter. 35-0 Radford leading James River. I'm Nick Brown, to my left, Timothy Worrells. Thank you for tuning in. 5 touchdowns scored in the opening 7 minutes as this clean snap is caught by Clark, and it's a sky-high punt. That's going to be fair. Caught back at the 10. And Corion Ferguson ran into the receiver who waved the fair catch, and yeah, there's the flag placed at the 10 right there. Ferguson and Trey Taylor laughing about it, tapping each other's helmets. Everything's A-okay. He just couldn't stop himself there and gave him a big old hug.
Here's the deal I still don't understand from athletes. It's like Corion negotiated to get the penalty. He wrapped him up, and the official didn't even touch the flag, but he turns around with his hands straight up in the air. Keep those hands down. Just trot off the field. Nonetheless, the flag needed to be thrown. He did wrap him up, though.
So that kick-catch interference will march the football out to the 25, I believe. Yes, at the far hash. So James River's now working left to right here in the second quarter. They trail your Radford Bobcats 35-0 with 11:52 to go in this opening half of football. Byers in the pistol. He takes the snap, distributes the rock to Woodard, who shifts his weight to the line of scrimmage. He's turned back by Ricky Bailey at the line of scrimmage. No gain, no loss. You want to do some trivia, Timothy?
I would love to.
All right. If I can find it. Maybe. I lied to you. I know it, though. Tonight's trivia question. Radford is 4-2 in their last 6 first-round playoff games. Who was the last team to beat Radford in the first round of the playoffs, excluding the weird 2021 spring season? As Byers takes the shotgun snap, looking over the middle, lobbing one deep, and it falls into no man's land, incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 10. So in 2000, there is a flag back at the line of scrimmage. We'll talk on that a little bit later. But right now, Radford 4-2 in their last 6 first-round playoff games, as there's a holding call. That'll back up this 2nd down and 10 to now 2nd and 20. Mr. Timothy Worrells, do you know who the last team besides Appomattox who beat Radford in round 1 back in 2021?
I have my guess. Certainly always have a guess.
Okay.
You want it now, or are we holding it off?
I'll give the hint, and then you can next return from break.
Okay.
2016 was the year that Radford last lost, besides 2021. Byers in trouble, just has to get rid of it on 2nd and 20. Falls incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 20. Third down and 20 from the 15-yard line. 11:03 to go in the second quarter. Radford up 35-0. Timothy, what have you seen so far from Radford that hasn't? Well, has anything changed your perspective on Radford today?
Not at all. You know, if you want to be the best team in the state, you need to take care of games like this, and they're doing exactly that. They're right on cue, 35-0.
Flag thrown with the snap, and it's going to be a false start. Radford certainly taking care of business. No hangover effect from the bye week. Temporary bleachers installed, by the way, across the way for playoffs as well. "11 minutes to go here in the second quarter. 35-0 Radford leading. If you can make it out to a playoff game this year, please do. This is a record-setting team and a historical team that will not be replicated for a very, very, very long time. Byers in the gun, drops back to pass, pressured at his own goal line, tosses it. It is complete at the 15. Breaking away from a couple of Bobcat defenders is Maddox Moore, and he got out to the 22-yard line. Brings up 4th down and 12 still after the holding play on 2nd down.
Just about got back to the original line of scrimmage. That was a good pass and good yards after the catch as well for the Knights.
Back to receive this punt for the Bobcats, Corian Ferguson and Sincere Taylor. Punting the ball away for the Knights, Trey Taylor. Bobcats show that they're going to come after this one. They block the first one. This is a slow dribbler that squirts through his legs, and the ball is recovered at the 6, and Radford will have the football 1st and goal from the 6-yard line. Another special teams disaster from James River today. They fumbled a kickoff. They allowed a pooch kick to be recovered by Radford. They had a blocked punt, and this one is a muffed snap that is recovered by the Bobcats at the 8-yard line.
When it rains, it pours for the James River Knights. Again, I like how some of these kids are still playing as hard as they can with some energy and with some passion, but then when you muff a punt snap right there, and you give a team that's already up 35 on you the ball at the 8, it's going to be a long night.
Bunch formation and a handoff to the right for J.D. Grubb. Jukes out one man and walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Radtown. 10-10 to go in the second quarter. Radford extends their lead to 41-0.
Great run right there by J.D. Grubb. He got nicked in the ankle, kept his balance, and then picked up a really good block right there by number 10, Jaden Hendricks on the outside, which allowed him to just trot on into the end zone and give us some more points on the board.
William Steele will attempt the extra point. His first extra point attempt of the evening. Clark will hold for him as well. Clean snap, clean hold. Kick is up and through. 42-0 with 10-10 to go in this first half of football. We'll return from this 30-second break on WRAD.
Step foot inside Brad's Barbershop in Radford, and you'll be transported back to a time when men were men and getting a straight razor shave and a haircut is something that mattered. You can expect the service at Brad's to be top-notch, being locally owned and operated. Brad is available daily by appointment, and you can reach them at 838-2109. That's 540-838-2109. Brad's Barbershop is a proud supporter of Radford High School athletics. Go Bobcats!
Now back to more Radford High School football on your home for the Bobcats, WRAD.
All right, Radford leading 42-0 with 10-10 to go here in this first half of football of round 1 of the Region 2C playoffs. I'm Nick Brown. To my left, Timothy Whirls. Radford dominant through a quarter in 2 minutes of football. Teeing the ball up is Eli Goff. Tonight's trivia question was, Radford is 4-2 in their last 6 first-round playoff games. Who are the 2 teams to beat Radford in the first round of the playoffs? We already announced one. It was Appomattox back in that weird spring 2021 season. As Goff swings his leg through end over end. Received off one hop there by Trey Taylor at the 15. He's got a hole, puts on the Jets. He's at the 40, now at the 45. Jukes out a man, and he's out to the Radford 46-yard line.
Another good return. James Rivers really kind of putting some pressure on the Bobcats on the special teams, specifically the kickoff team. And Trey Taylor really had an opening right there and was trying to take it back to the house to give the Knights something to be happy about so far.
All right. Do you know the answer to the trivia question?
Let's see. 2016, single A.
Yeah.
We're back to single A.
1st and 10, by the way, for the Knights at the 46. It's a delayed handoff. Ricky Bailey rips down the ball carrier, Sam Wilson. He literally chucked him like a projectile for a loss of 3.
Well, the first round was an upset. I'm doubtful on this guess because I don't think we would match up with this team in the first round, but I would have to either say George Wythe or Galax.
That's wrong.
Well, Paul Parcell, too. I just got a text. Galax will be his guess.
It is wrong.
What does it start with?
P. Shotgun snap here for 2nd and 13. The ball is tossed out, caught by Trey Taylor, and he's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage, gain of 3.
PH Glade Spring.
Yeah. You saw the answer, didn't you?
Mm-mm.
Yes, you did.
Mm-mm. I did. I
was about to say.
I would have never guessed PH Glade Spring. Only time that's etched in my brain is that the girls' basketball team beat them in 2011 for the state championship.
Patrick Henry Glade Spring defeated Radford 31-21 at Glade Spring back in 2016. Shotgun snap, rolling out to the left. Bobcats all over it. Sam Barani and Reese Honaker in with the sack. There is a flag on the play, and Evan Byers, the quarterback, is down for the count right now. Hopefully he is okay across the way. Still laying on his back. There was a flag. We're going to wait to see what the call is. And, well, Byers hopped up on his own accord. Just popped up quite easily there. And illegal hands to the face there, and that'll be an automatic first down for James River. Not really, I don't know. It's those hand fighting up in the line of scrimmage. You can't see it from here.
Let's talk about Sam Handabarani. The running back was there as a blocker for his quarterback, and Sam hit him so hard, the running back almost got the sack. Sam's one of those kids that's not afraid to hit anything or anyone.
3rd down and 2. It is not a first down. And they're going to go with a handoff. Ricky Bailey. Oh, my gosh. Destroys Sam Wilson in the backfield for another loss of 6.
Ricky Bailey. I mean, you need a guy like number 77 playing that nose guard position. The way he's been playing the last few weeks, man, that sets the tone of the whole defense. You got a guy like number 52, the quarterback of the defense, Charlie Davis. But then when you got a guy like Ricky Bailey getting through, playing some nasty, good football, getting tackles like that, makes it really exciting to watch in the weeks to come in this playoff run.
Unreal. Sets up a 4th down and 6 at the 42. James River has to get to the Radford 36. Shotgun snap, play action pass, pump fake here. Byers in trouble, and he is dropped. Reese Honaker with the finishing tackle, but it was Ricky Bailey with the initial contact, and also in for the tackle as well was Josh Porter, number 50 for the Bobcats.
Evan Byers doing everything he can. Poor kid back there. Every time he catches the snap, he's got all these Bobcats just coming at him. He's running for his life.
A turnover on downs, and Radford will take over at midfield with 7:33 to go in the second quarter. Clark in the gun with 4 wide out split. Grubb on his right hip. Shotgun snap and another handoff to Grubb, who shakes off one defender and picks up 6 yards there on the carry.
J.D. Grubb has really good control of over his body. Again, another guy came flying at his ankles. He kind of got tripped up, but kept his balance, got forward, and got some positive yards there on that run.
Gain of officially 7 brings up 2nd and 3. Radford wants to go fast. 4 wide out split. Shotgun snap. Clark surveys to the right, scans, guns it to the far sideline, and it is dropped. Isaiah Austin hit him in the hands on a perfect out route. Would have had great yardage, but it falls incomplete. That is not Isaiah Austin. Excuse me. It was Jaden Hendricks across the way.
Yep. First pass toward his way, and unfortunately he dropped it right there, and so hopefully he gets the next one coming to him.
Once again, 2 wideouts on either side of the line. Handoff to Grubb. No, pulling it out was Landon Clark on the read option. There he goes. 15, 10, 5, untouched. He fooled everybody on the field and fooled me, and he walks his way in for his first rushing touchdown of the game, and Radford leads 48-0.
48-0 on a 48-yard sprint by Landon Clark right there. A beautiful fake handoff right there. Had the whole stadium thinking J.D. Grubb had it, including the defense. He pulled it, turned the corner, big block by number 18, Max Knipe downfield, and landing with a really easy run to the end zone to just make this a deeper score for the Bobcats.
Williams Steele to kick the extra point. Clean snap, clean hold. The kick is away, and the kick is good. 49-0. Yes, 49-0 with 6:57 to play in the second quarter. We'll step aside for 30 seconds here on WRAD.
Hello, I'm Karen, owner of Southern Furniture in Radford. We are family owned and operated, and we carry Ashley, Pulaski, Southern Motion, Serta, Catnapper, Von Bassett, and England by Lazy Boy, and many others. Southern Furniture is a proud supporter of Radford Bobcat football. Players, coaches, and family, go Bobcats! Southern Furniture is located at 2110 West Main Street, just 1 mile past the post office in Radford. Go Bobcats!
You're listening to Radford High School football on WRAD Radford, WRAD FM Radford, your home for Bobcat football. 101.7, 103.5, and 1460 AM, the WRAD Talk Network.
Radford 49, James River nothing with 6:57 to play in the second quarter. By the way, a score update for Radford University men's basketball, 33-23. They lead at the half over Marshall up in Greenbrier, West Virginia. So Radford,
in a ballroom.
Yes, in a ballroom. Radford football, Radford High School football, outscoring here in the second quarter, Radford men's basketball by 16. Eli Goff swings his southpaw foot through, and it will be received at the 15 there by Sam Wilson, and he is upended at the 29-yard line.
He got smoked by number 77, Ricky Bailey. Ricky Bailey put that shoulder right into his side, and the kick returner is still down on the ground after that big tackle.
Sam Wilson has been the man that has been chucked around by Ricky Bailey like a rag doll all day long. And I was wondering when those hits would finally catch up to him, and unfortunately, he is going to stay down here at the 29-yard line. He'll get checked out by both training staffs.
Well, Nick, I've had a bad night.
Uh-oh.
I've been wrong on all accounts. Glenver is smoking Patrick County.
Wow.
35-0 in the second quarter. Appomattox is winning 21-0 over Chatham. And Gretna's up 12-0 over Floyd, but we didn't really say much about that one.
No, we didn't. Good thing you can't bet on high school football, and good thing you're also not a betting man.
I don't have much experience in that.
There is a way to bet on high school sports.
But Glenver, Glenver's, we got a long ways before we even have a chance to match up with them, but they're going to be scary.
First down and 10, ball at the 30-yard line. 6:44 to go here in this first half of football. Timeout, James River. We'll step aside and take 30 seconds ourselves. We'll see you on the other side. Radford up 49-0 here on WRAD.
Mullins Funeral Home and Crematory, located at 120 West Main Street in Radford, has been part of the New River Valley since 1918 when it was started under the name of Johnson Funeral Home as a family-owned and operated funeral home. Mullins Funeral Home is still family-owned today. They take pride in offering a warm, welcoming atmosphere to help relax the families they serve during their time of need. You can trust their experienced staff to help you in your most difficult of times. For more information, visit mullinsfuneralhome.com and go Bobcats.
On the air and online. Now back to more Radford High School football on the WRAD Talk Network.
Radford 49, James River 0 with 6:44 to go in the second quarter. I'm Nick Brown. He's Timothy Whirls as both teams break their huddles. A lot of fun happening here in Bobcat Stadium. A lot of fun throughout the season all year long for Radford. We're just getting rolling here in the playoffs. Shotgun snap for Byers, looks left, pressured off the edge, almost tripped up, flips it out, and almost a one-handed interception by Woodard. Kind of surprised that it hit his hand.
Yeah, I don't think he realized that it was actually going to hit his hand and he would have an opportunity. Kind of just threw it up in the air and jumped. All of a sudden, it was like, oh, wow, oh, man, I could have had that interception and went down.
Second down and 10. Ball still at the 29-yard line. A lot of great college basketball on. Middle school basketball just getting rolling.
That's right. I've been in basketball mode all week.
Trips to the right, one to the left for Byers. Takes the snap, looking deep, fires out to the near sideline. It is caught and wiped out of bounds at the 36-yard line was Cody Park for his first catch of the evening. Brings up third down and 4.
Great
catch
tackle by number 6, Colton Gardner-Rollins right there. Third down for the Knights.
Third down and 4. Ooh. Third down and 4. Ball at the 36. James River has to get to the 40. They're at the near hash, working left to right with 6:15 and rolling here in the second quarter. And timeout called by who is the question?
I think it was by us.
Seems to be by Radford.
Could be wrong.
Well, 6:14 to go in the second quarter. Radford 49, James River 0. I want to ask you this question. So I was at the Virginia Tech-Iowa basketball game, women's basketball game yesterday, where Tech unfortunately lost by 4. Close game, great game. Caitlin Clark, just as good as she's advertised, if not better. She's unbelievable.
Yes.
There are 15,000 people in attendance at the Charlotte Hornets Arena at the Spectrum Center. How incredible is it to see women's sports grow exponentially over these last 2 to 3 years as a former women's basketball coach?
I think it's great. I think it was a great sight last night to see the Hokies play in such an environment like that. I think your coach, the Hokies coach,
Kenny Brooks
is he mentioned it felt like the Final Four atmosphere.
Yeah.
And so to have that
And I can attest to that. It was loud.
Yeah. So I think it's pretty cool. And I like watching women's sports. So that was fun last night.
Third down and 4, a direct handoff up the middle goes nowhere except back to the line of scrimmage. Brings up fourth down and 5 back to 35. James River is going to leave their offense on the field, it seems, and they're going to try to pick up 5 yards here to get to the 40. Nope, they're going to shift back into punting.
ACC Network posted a post today kind of reflecting my thoughts from last night that on the Hokie side, you have someone just as impressive, I would say. Not as good as Caitlin Clark.
No one's as good as Caitlin Clark.
But almost. And
Georgia Amore.
Yeah.
Unreal.
She was
31
really
points.
good. Some of the moves that she made, the step back 3 she made on one time, I mean, that was impressive. We got some
half-court buzzer beater as well.
Yes.
Clean snap on the punt here. This one's going to get away. First clean punt of the day. And the ball will trickle back and picked up on the third hop by Sincere Taylor. He's going to roll out to the right. He's at the 35, spins his way to the 40, and he is crushed by 3 white jerseys out of bounds at the 40-yard line. And that's where Radford will start this drive on their own side of the field with the final 5:08 remaining in the second quarter to work with. They lead 49-0.
That was the oddest punt I've ever seen. It was a backward spiral where the spiral usually points away from the punter and then over. That one was like pointing to him, but spiraling. That's what made Sincere, a little trickery right there, catching it.
Used his 9-iron instead of his 4-iron.
A little backspin on it.
Shotgun snap, handoff to Grubb, spins off 3 defenders, jukes out another guy, but is destroyed in the open field back at the 39. Hunting him down there was Sam Wilson, who finally got his revenge with a big hit after being tossed around on the offensive side of the football.
Yeah, lineman kind of limping around for the Knights.
Off the field at the moment, Gabe Staton. He lost his helmet. And you know what? I thought he had a mullet.
He doesn't.
It's just a big old mane of hair. I've been led astray. I'm upset today. Second down and 10. Immediately toss out to the right for Max Knipe. Oh, reliable, has it at the 45. Heath shows on the Jets and has stood up and turned back. Not until he gets a Brad's Barbershop first down into James River territory to the 48-yard line.
One of the few times that one person that wrapped up Max was able to eventually bring him down. Usually he fights his way out of those and his strength, and we saw it on the first touchdown tonight on his first catch back after a few weeks, but nonetheless, timeout by the Bobcats.
Timeout called by Coach Christ. We'll stay right here with 4:13 to go in the second quarter. So basketball. Radford still has 5 games to win in football. But we got to shift into basketball, and, well, it's going to be weird without Coach Cormany on the sideline for the first time in how many years?
Wow. I just went 27?
He was 27, yeah.
27 years. Over 700 wins.
It's going to be weird.
It's going to be really weird. I've had a taste of it this week, though. It's going to be a good new feeling.
Yeah.
Coach Fisher.
No. I'm going to get in trouble for this question.
Oh, gosh.
How many years did the average age on the sideline drop? First down and 10 for Radford.
We'll let that be a text in response.
Yeah, that is tonight's trivia question. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm getting trouble. Coach Cormany's same age as my dad. 4 wideout split. Luke Gaither in at quarterback now as J.D. Grubb got the call, and he is just wrestled out of bounds there. I'll tell you what, Gabe Staton, he's got the mane of hair. He fooled me. I thought he had a mullet, just a big old mane of hair. He plays hard.
Yes.
And he's a pretty darn good linebacker when all's said and done. He just can't be everywhere at once.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But Staton really giving Grubb a taste of what senior versus freshman looks like, and he did it as he took him all the way back to his own sideline.
So Gaither now stands in the gun, the freshman gunslinger, accompanied by William D. Hart Lewis on his right hip. And we've got a false start, I believe, here. And there it is. Yes, a false start on the snap. Backs up what was second and 14 is now going to be second down and 19. Back at the Radford 44. They have to get to the James River 38. So second and 18, and a delayed handoff to D. Hart Lewis. Spinning off one defender, and the bowling ball picks up about 2 to 3 yards. Brings up third down and 15.
Good play there because there was nothing open. He had pressure the minute he caught that, he received the handoff, stayed low, did a little spin move, got around the line a little bit, got a few positive yards.
So we dive south of 3 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Radford still up 49-0. They put up 55 points in the first meeting between these two teams in the first half of football. Trail that by a touchdown today. Gaither drops back, pressured, sidesteps a defender, steps up into the pocket, can't evade the second hit, and he is sacked. They're going to give him a gain of 1. He escaped for a 1-yard carry, brings up fourth down and 14. And is this the punt team coming out? Believe so. Yes. No? Yes.
William D. Hart Lewis.
Yes, William D. Hart Lewis getting his first action with a P beside his name. He stands at the 35. 2 receivers for this punt stand at the 15 for James River. Clean snap, clean hold. D. Hart Lewis, oh man, this is a rocket. It's going to land at the 25, take 2 massive bounces, and it's going to be downed within the 9. All right, it's effective. How about that?
Good punt by D. Hart Lewis. He was a little quick. There was no pressure coming.
that was a quick fire.
Got it out, had the forward roll, and like you said, we downed them all the way back to the 9 here with just under 2 before the halftime break. Second half, we'll have the continuous clock.
That is true.
A couple people have been texting me about that already.
Only happens in the second half, yes. 49-0, 1:56 to go here in the second quarter. Bobcats up 7 touchdowns. Trips to the right for Byers, 1 to his left. Sam Wilson's the running back behind him who gets the call. He dodges a couple defenders back to the line of scrimmage and gets a gain of 1. James River, it's going to be an off season. They're going to have to get back to drawing board. It's just a small team over there. There's about 12 guys on the sideline right now. You got 11 guys on the field. Just there's not a big program at the moment for the Knights. Good basketball program at the moment, though.
They do have some good athletes.
Trips to the right, pump fake, and they'll toss it out into the flats for a screen pass there. Working their way out to the 15. 3 flags come chucked in for a hold. on the tackle for Radford. Essick Williams in there for the hit. A couple of other guys in there as well at the moment. Nathan Taylor, Cole Martin, William Dehart Lewis, J.D. Garner-Rollins, Tanner Rogers. Good to see a bunch of the young guns getting some action at the moment.
I didn't see the hold.
Right.
A yank from the shoulder pads down.
It was pretty bad. That was one of the more egregious we've seen this season. Second down and 12, back at the 9. 1:15 to play in this first half. Bunched trio of receivers to the right. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. That's turned back for a loss of 3. Cole Martin in with the TFL. A couple other Bobcats there. Nathan Taylor, Josh Porter blowing that one up. Tell you what, Nathan Taylor, he gets in there, when Radford's up big, but he's still going up against the ones on the other side of the field, and he lives in the backfield.
He does, and he plays with a lot of energy. He's excited to be out there, and he's got some strength and size.
He's a big
under
boy.
the shoulder pads.
He's a big boy.
He's hard to keep down.
Third down and 12. Byers high snap corral, drops back pressured, and Sam Handenbarani just chucked the running back away and brings down Byers for the sack. Back at the 5. Byers is going to lay down for a little bit and then roll over and get on up. Evan Byers.
Tough boy right there.
Tough kid right there. He's been down what seems like to be for the last time for about 4 times today, and he just picks himself up and plays another down. That'll do it for this first half of football. Radford 49, James River 0. What a first half of football for the Bobcats. What a first 7 minutes of football for the Bobcats as the black and gold head their way to the locker room up 7 touchdowns. We'll step aside, collect our thoughts, collect our stats, and when we come back, we will have you the halftime report here from Bobcat Stadium at Norman G. Linderberg Field. And of course, you're catching it live on WRAD.
Hey guys, this is Ali Jennings III, wide receiver for your Virginia Tech Hokies. When I committed to Virginia Tech football, I committed to the best. That's why I chose Harvey's GM in Radford. Why settle for less when you can have the best? Go to Harvey's GM for all of your vehicle needs. Tell them Ali sent you. That's Harvey's GM, Tyler Ave in Radford, or go to their website at harveysgm.com for more info. And as always, go Bobcats.
The Office of Dr. Dennis Vaughn is a proud supporter of Radford High School sports and wishes the Bobcats the best of luck this season. Dr. Vaughn has been a Radford orthodontist for 36 years and proven the smiles and confidence of countless patients. Dr. Vaughn and his team salute our team, the Radford High School Bobcats. Good luck this season and continue to make your school, your parents, and your community proud. Go Bobcats! From the Office of Dr. Dennis Vaughn, orthodontist, Radford.
Hello, I'm Karen, owner of Southern Furniture in Radford. We are family owned and operated, and we carry Ashley, Pulaski, Southern Motion, Serta, Catnapper, Von Bassett, and England by Lazy Boy, and many others. Southern Furniture is a proud supporter of Radford Bobcat football. Players, coaches, and family, go Bobcats! Southern Furniture is located at 2110 West Main Street, just 1 mile past the post office in Radford. Go Bobcats!
Bobcat fans, it's game time. Time for friends, food, fun, and football. Where, you ask? At McAdoo's, of course. Whether it's before, during, or after the game, come to McAdoo's or have your tailgate party catered with the delicious McAdoo's food you know and love. With 19 locations, there's a McAdoo's wherever you go, including Radford, Blacksburg, Christiansburg, and Salem. McAdoo's is now hiring for all positions. Stop by a location for more information. Check out their daily specials, locations, and catering menu at macadoos.net, and we'll see you at the Doos.
This is Radford High School football on the WRAD Talk Network, 101.7, 103.5, and 1460 AM. Now it's time for the halftime report. With first half stats and game analysis, here are Nick Brown and Timothy Worrells.
Welcome back to Bobcat Stadium at Norman G. Linderberg Field. I'm Nick Brown. He's Timothy Whirls here for the halftime report. Before we get things rolling, tonight's game is brought to you by Southern Furniture, Harvey's GM, Brad's Barbershop, Radford Drug, McAdoo's, Mullins Funeral Home, and Dr. Dennis Vaughn. Thank you to all of our sponsors all season long for getting us through the regular season and now through the postseason. And hopefully we still have 4 more games after this to broadcast all the way to the state title. We couldn't do it without them, and we couldn't do it without you listeners for giving us a platform to be able to do this and to entertain you guys every single week. All right, Mr. Timothy Wills. 49-0 is the score at the end of the first half. First time these two teams met in the regular season. Radford led 55-0 at this point. So the Bobcats slacking today.
Yeah, I was going to say James Rivers playing better than last time they came in here scoring-wise. But, negative 7 yards total for the Knights offensively, a little over 230 for the Bobcats in the first half. The Bobcats had a lot of starting positions in the short field. So, 230. Let me get to it if I can. Well, Doug's behind me. I just need to give him the headset. 232 yards total offense is still really good. And here we are saying, they just had 232 yards of offense in the first half, but they started in short field positions and they capitalized every single time. And that first 7 minutes of the first quarter was just a scene setter right there. Bobcats just came out rolling, scoring 35 in the first quarter to really put this thing away already.
You want to go through the scores?
I can. Yeah, let's do it.
Woo!
Might take a little while, 10 minutes of our
Sounds good to me.
Well, the night began just a little over a minute into the game. It was a touchdown pass to Max Knipe, who made his return after being off a few weeks due to an injury. Put the Bobcats up 7-0. And just a few seconds later, the Bobcats had the ball back in their hands in a 1-yard J.D. Grubb touchdown run, made it 14-0. And then when I say seconds, I'm talking 33 seconds later. The Bobcats had a pick six by Max Knipe to make it 21-0 with 8 minutes and 32 seconds left in the first quarter. Then we get even more seconds off the clock. Let's make it 9. And the Bobcats get back on the board through a Landon Clark pass to Brandon Thompson, 25 yards through the air, 28-0 was a score. And then with 5:43 remaining in the opening quarter, it was another pass to Max Knipe for 18 yards, making it 35-0 at the end of the first. Bobcats slowed it down a little bit there in the second. Touchdown run from 8 yards out by J.D. Grubb for his second one of the evening. And then lastly, it was a touchdown run for 48 yards by Landon Clark to get us to where we are right now, 49-0 at the halftime break, Nick.
Not too shabby right there at all. Radford pulled what seemed to be most of their starters there late in the second quarter. We probably, and I hope we don't see any starters here in the second half.
No, we shouldn't. And it would be crazy to see some of the starters. Landon's done for the night. Max is done for the night. Charlie Davis. I mean, we could just kind of go through the line. Ricky Bailey, who's playing really good, by the way.
Yeah.
He's really peaking at the right part of the season, and he's playing with a lot of confidence, and he's playing with a lot of fire. And you need that, the nose guard position. So, a lot of these younger guys are going to get the experience in playoff football.
Speaking of playoff football, let's take a look at some of these scores across the way. We'll go through all the other divisions as well for recency bias. Abingdon trailing Christiansburg 12-0 at the half. Christiansburg losing their starting quarterback to a torn ACL. They kind of limped to the finish line after what seemed to be such a promising year, and you just hate that ended for them. Is finally a true culmination of what they were building there, and it's just ripped away.
Yeah, it only takes one. You get a guy like that to get injured and can really change the dynamic of the whole team. And that's why if I see, Landon Clark go on the field, I might have to run down there myself and pull him off. But we got a good coaching staff. They're not going to do that.
William Bird leading Pulaski at the half, 28-7. How about that one right there? The Terriers on top of the Cougars. And, well, that's all I see right now for WSLS scores. Everybody else, of course, trying to wrap up things at the moment for before they tweet out those final things. At the half, though, here on Max Preps, Appomattox County leading Chatham 28-0 over Chatham. That's a 5-5 Appomattox team taking it to a 7-3 Chatham team.
Yeah, Appomattox plays, heavy, what we would say, a pre-district schedule right there in the Lynchburg area, and 5-5, a little worse than years past, but they got a good coaching staff. And, when you got 10 games to get your team where you want them to be, Coach Smith does that, then Appomattox is going to be tough, and that's what we're looking up for. Everyone kind of penciled it in. We're looking at another Radford Appomattox rematch next week, Nick.
That is certainly going to be the case. I know Drew Cox walking behind us, though, right now is so excited to hear that we do not have to go to Appomattox for the second straight year. Woo!
But we won't be able to drive past Drew Cox's favorite Wendy's.
Oh,
like we always do on the way there. Your favorite Wendy's?
Yeah, that is the highlight of that 2.5-hour trip that we love to take every time.
Fort Chiswell being Narrows. Sorry to get back us on track. Maybe
go Pioneers. Pioneers having a great season as well. Radford, well, I did not play him this year.
Bath coming to reality to Narrows last week.
Yep.
Prevent them from undefeated season. They're losing the Galax right now, 20-7.
Tell you what, Galax turned around their season after getting destroyed by Radford earlier in the year. Bobcats took it to the Maroon Tide, 56-19 this year, but they've really put up a lot of points recently as well.
Yeah, Floyd's still trailing Gretna. Gretna's pretty good this year. A lot of athletes, as they always do, and they're putting together a pretty good season. And right now, they're just up 12-0 on the Buffaloes, though, at halftime.
Eagles over the Buffs right there in Gretna, I believe. If we pull up, I do have it somewhere. I thought I did. Here it is. VHSL Class 2 playoff bracket as well. Of course, the other side, Poquoson won their first game of the postseason. Region A got rolling last night with Poquoson, the 1 seed, taking down the 8 seed, Nendua, 20-6. So not really an impressive showing by the 1 seed out east for the Islanders. Is that there? Poquoson Islanders?
I don't know. I thought they were just a volleyball team.
They are good at volleyball as well. Over in Region D as well, Gate City took out Marion in the opening round of the Region D playoffs. That's the 3-seeded Blue Devils taking down the 6-seeded Hurricanes, 28-14. Gate City will move on to play the winner of Graham and Lee. Both of those teams not too shabby as well. Region D is definitely going to be the toughest region out of everybody, out of all 4 of these regions as well. Those are the only 2 games that played yesterday. We have a couple games being played tomorrow. Tazewell and Ridgeview, along with Union and Virginia High, they will play tomorrow. Union, number 1 team in Region D, and the third ranked 2A team in the state. Second ranked is Central Woodstock. They take on Stewart's Draft today. And the Bobcats, of course, ranked number 1, winning 49-0 here with 9:20 to go here in halftime. We'll step aside for a commercial break. And when we come back, we'll break down the second half of football, preview a little bit of what Radford needs to do to Appomattox next week, and a little bit more on the other side of this one on WRAD.
Step foot inside Brad's Barbershop in Radford, and you'll be transported back to a time when men were men and getting a straight razor shave and a haircut is something that mattered. You can expect the service at Brad's to be top-notch, being locally owned and operated. Brad is available daily by appointment, and you can reach them at 838-2109. That's 540-838-2109. Brad's Barbershop is a proud supporter of Radford High School athletics. Go Bobcats!
The Office of Dr. Dennis Vaughn is a proud supporter of Radford High School sports and wishes the Bobcats the best of luck this season. Dr. Vaughn has been a Radford orthodontist for 36 years and proven the smiles and confidence of countless patients. Dr. Vaughn and his team salute our team, the Radford High School Bobcats. Good luck this season and continue to make your school, your parents, and your community proud. Go Bobcats! From the Office of Dr. Dennis Vaughn, orthodontist, Radford.
Mullins Funeral Home and Crematory, located at 120 West Main Street in Radford, has been part of the New River Valley since 1918 when it was started under the name of Johnson Funeral Home as a family-owned and operated funeral home. Mullins Funeral Home is still family-owned today. They take pride in offering a warm, welcoming atmosphere to help relax the families they serve during their time of need. You can trust their experienced staff to help you in your most difficult of times. For more information, visit mullinsfuneralhome.com and go Bobcats.
Bobcat fans, it's game time. Time for friends, food, fun, and football. Where, you ask? At Mockadoo's, of course. Whether it's before, during, or after the game, come to Mockadoo's or have your tailgate party catered with the delicious Mockadoo's food you know and love. With 19 locations, there's a Mockadoo's wherever you go, including Radford, Blacksburg, Christiansburg, and Salem. Mockadoo's is now hiring for all positions. Stop by a location for more information. Check out their daily specials, locations, and catering menu at Mockadoos.net, and we'll see you at the Doos.
Now back to the stadium for more of the halftime report on the WRAD Talk Network.
Welcome back to Bobcat Stadium, Norman G. Linnerberg Field, Radford 49, James River 0, as the Three Rivers District rivals clash it out here in round one of the 2023 Virginia High School playoffs. Mr. Timothy Whirls, it's been 51 years since Radford won it all. Been a while. Do you think the Bobcats this year have what it takes?
Well, they're doing step number one pretty well tonight. You got to beat
true.
James River in the first round, and it's 49-0 here as we click through the halftime break and have a continuous clock later on. I do think they have a shot this year. I think they have a really good shot. I think they have the best shot that they've had in a while, probably since back in the Ben Cox and Kip Green days, when we got all the way to face Graham before the state tournament title game. But I think, Nick, I think this line is a lot better than a lot of people might think. I think obviously having a quarterback as the best athlete in the state certainly helps. You got to have that guy, that quote unquote, that guy on your team to be the star and kind of the flashiness. We've got that. So that's a check. You got to have leaders. We have leaders on both sides of the field. Landon Clark, Max Knipe, Charlie Davis, Brandon Thompson, Dawson Martin. You got all those guys all over the field leading the rest of the crew. And you got receivers. You got multiple threats. It's not just Max, but now we know we got Luke Warder, we got Sincere Taylor, and we got a lot of options. So I think we have a really good shot. But I think next week's going to be hard. I think as we look at the score here, we look at the score at Appomattox game, it's going to be a rematch, and that game's going to be a battle. The Bobcats haven't been battling this year. We're glad they haven't been able to battle, but sometimes that shoots you in the foot. Appomattox has had some contests this year, and they've battled, and they've been through those games already. So Coach Smith's going to have their team ready to roll when they get off the bus next week. And then you look at possibly playing Glenver again in the title game, in the Regency Championship game. Don't want to play that. I mean, that's going to be a hard game the second time. Coach Clifford's going to have their crew offended. They're going to be so offended by the way they played that first game against us. They'll be ready to knock heads. And you get past them, and we're looking, at some tough competitions around the whole VHSL 2A tournament. So it's going to be hard, but I definitely think the Bobcats have one of the best teams out there, and they have a good chance.
Radford's last 3 seasons have come to an end to the hands of Coach Smith's Appomattox County football teams. First 2 at Appomattox, the last one in a thriller here at Bobcat Stadium a season ago in the second round of the playoffs. That was an incredible game that we saw, and Radford was down 3 scores with less than 6 minutes to go, and they were a 4th down stop from getting the ball away or getting the ball back and having a chance to win that game.
Yeah, they came back and battled. As I told you earlier, Nick, I think, last year we pulled the brackets out and we're kind of like, stink, Appomattox is on our side. This year we're like, who cares?
Yeah.
We want to go through Appomattox. We want revenge against them. We think we've got something they can't handle this year. And, but it's not going to be a blowout. We're not going to see even like Allegheny. Allegheny fought us until the third quarter, and then we broke away loose. It's going to be a full fourth quarter game. And I've got to be honest, that scares me because our guys have been playing 2 quarters, 3 quarters max throughout the season. We're going to have them for 4 straight quarters, no break, battling every play.
That's right. That is exactly right. And Radford will probably have their first true test of the season. Now, of course, we say that, but Allegheny looked pretty darn good this season. Only 1 loss, and that was to Radford here at Bobcat Stadium. Radford took care of business pretty handedly over the Mountaineers earlier this season, 49-22. But Radford won by 27 over a team that went 9-1 this year.
Yeah. And let's give Allegheny a little credit. I was trying to pull up their score tonight. I don't know where they're at, but congratulations to Allegheny, by the way.
Yeah.
Coming together, notoriously not a good football team. Allegheny and Covington coming together and forming a really good season with some good athletes. They really roasted us in the air in that game, and it took a Landon Clark pick 6 to turn things back around. And I think Allegheny is not as good as Appomattox. I'll put that out there. Appomattox 5-5, but that's the reality. Bobcat fans, we really got to put our attention to. Appomattox is better than Allegheny's.
Yeah,
Appomattox is, I would say, better than Glenver. I mean, I think Appomattox is the second best team in the region. And somehow, some way, Glenver gets put on the other side of the bracket, and it's us again facing each other. How that happens doesn't matter. You want to win a state championship, you got to beat everyone. But that was the toughest test. I mean, we didn't think coming out of the Allegheny win that we just beat a team that's going to finish 9-1 in the season.
Yeah, here's the thing. Allegheny beat Floyd 61-18, beat James River 57-0, beat Patrick County 58-13, beat Glenver 27-10, beat Carroll County 47-0 in district play. Allegheny put up just as good numbers or even a little bit better numbers than Radford did against some of these opponents in the Three Rivers district. That's how good the Mountaineers were this year. The Cougars now.
That's right.
Are this year. They truly were special this season. 9-1 Coach Will Fields has a team on his hands. In Covington, they are taking on Rustburg at this very second.
And they're winning.
They are
14-6 over Rustburg.
How about that?
I'm rooting for them.
Go Cougars makes our win look exponentially better as well.
Blue Cougars,
not
maroon and
gold. The other team across the bridge.
No, I was actually hoping Pulaski was going to go down and get a win tonight in the first round of playoff. I thought they had a shot, but right now Williamsburg kind of has their number on them.
Terriers taking it to them across the bridge right now. 49-0 as Drew Cox finishes off an EL Fudge Cookie. We'll step aside, and when we come back, we'll have kickoff for the second half of football between Radford and James River here on WRAD.
Hey guys, this is Ali Jennings III, wide receiver for your Virginia Tech Hokies. When I committed to Virginia Tech football, I committed to the best. That's why I chose Harvey's GM in Radford. Why settle for less when you can have the best? Go to Harvey's GM for all of your vehicle needs. Tell them Ali sent you. That's Harvey's GM, Tyler Ave in Radford, or go to their website at harveysgm.com for more info. And as always, go Bobcats!
Mullins Funeral Home and Crematory, located at 120 West Main Street in Radford, has been part of the New River Valley since 1918 when it was started under the name of Johnson Funeral Home as a family-owned and operated funeral home. Mullins Funeral Home is still family-owned today. They take pride in offering a warm, welcoming atmosphere to help relax the families they serve during their time of need. You can trust their experienced staff to help you in your most difficult of times. For more information, visit mullinsfuneralhome.com and go Bobcats.
The Office of Dr. Dennis Vaughn is a proud supporter of Radford High School sports and wishes the Bobcats the best of luck this season. Dr. Vaughn has been a Radford orthodontist for 36 years and proven the smiles and confidence of countless patients. Dr. Vaughn and his team salute our team, the Radford High School Bobcats. Good luck this season and continue to make your school, your parents, and your community proud. Go Bobcats! From the Office of Dr. Dennis Vaughn, orthodontist, Radford.
Step foot inside Brad's Barbershop in Radford, and you'll be transported back to a time when men were men and getting a straight razor shave and a haircut is something that mattered. You can expect the service at Brad's to be top-notch, being locally owned and operated. Brad is available daily by appointment, and you can reach them at 838-2109. That's 540-838-2109. Brad's Barbershop is a proud supporter of Radford High School athletics. Go Bobcats!
You're listening to Radford Bobcats football on the WRAD Talk Network. Here once again are Radford High School alums Nick Brown and Timothy Worrells.
Welcome back to Bobcat Stadium. Norman G. Linnerberg Field. 49-0 is our score here at the New River City. I'm Nick Brown. To my left, Timothy Worrells, as both teams wrapping up stretches and warm-ups. And boy, do they need to get warm. It's cold out there.
It is cold out there.
And
It's been feeling like spring all week, and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
it feels like playoff football time.
I know. And I was sick this week. I was like, oh, man, I don't get to go out and frolic in the sun.
You just stayed in the dorm and went to sleep and didn't do anything, did you?
I watched college basketball. I was very grateful for the day games.
You had a busy you've had a busy 2 nights.
Yes.
Charlotte last night.
I got back at 3:15 in the morning from Charlotte yesterday. But it was worth it.
And you did a
Louisville
top,
trip.
top 5 plays.
Oh, I did
recording?
on Tech Sideline.
Went to
ahead and check that out.
Louisville.
Yes.
Man, you've been everywhere since the last
World traveler, Nick Brown.
Louisville's a great place.
It is a great. That was
Cool
my
little
fun.
town.
I got to see the Louisville Slugger Museum before Tech got shellacked by the Cardinals. That was a really, really cool factory. Wore my Texas Rangers sweatshirt. Got a ton of compliments. I think they're trained there. If any Texas Rangers fans walk in, like, congratulations. Really, really felt warm.
Did they check for price tags on your sweatshirt?
They did not. They did not. My friends all told me that they were going to bring face price tags to put it on my sweatshirt. You know what? I was mad, though. They did not have anything Texas Rangers for sale. They had almost every other team for sale, mini bats and stuff, but did not have anything Rangers.
You should have told them to make one.
They're the factory.
You were there.
Now, if I had gone a week later, if I went this weekend, they probably have World Series stuff galore. They're probably just making that
You're
stuff.
just there too early.
I don't know.
Did you get one of those uh-oh pieces?
I did, and I got they also hand out the free bats as well.
Yeah.
So I got that.
Very cool place.
Yeah. 12 minutes on the scoreboard to start the third quarter of play. Eli Goff swings the leg through. 49-0. Radford leading James River. This ball is received by Sam Wilson. He'll go right up the gut, and he is down at the 32-yard line. That is how we start this football half. I'm Nick Brown. To my left, Timothy Worrells. Thank you for tuning in.
Great tackle and coverage right there by number 14, Cole Martin, coming down the sideline. We've heard a little bit of his older brother a few times on the defensive side. Now with the 49-0 lead, 14, Cole Martin on the field trying to make a name for himself this time.
Running clock on the scoreboard and now in effect here in the playoffs of round 1, 49-0. Radford on top. James River at the football. Evan Byers seemed like a false start. Did not get called. And, wow, taking the run right up the middle for the Knights right there. Number 2, Maddox Woodard. Nice little carry there by Woodard, and that's a gain of 4.
22 guys total on the field, and I think 8 of them actually ran through that play. There's a lot of confusion on that snap.
That's about right there. Second down and 6 at the 35-yard line. James River will have to get to the James River 41. They're working left to right on your radio dial here in the second half of football. 2 wideouts to the right. Byers barking at his receiver. Motions a man from right to left. Takes the snap, looks left, tosses it over to Mr. Trey Taylor, makes a couple guys miss, and miraculously kind of gets back to the line of scrimmage there.
Got wrapped up. He kind of just turned and started pushing backwards. And like you said, Nick, he got back to the line of scrimmage. It was looking like a 2-yard loss.
Brings up third down and 7. It was a loss of 1. Back to the 33-yard line at the far hash. It may be cold, but wide receiver coach Josh Smith still in shorts, and he's always going to be in shorts.
Used to be a tradition there in the coaches is that whatever you wear the first week of the year, you got to wear it the whole rest of the year.
Sticking to his guns. Third down and 7 for James River. Pressured off the edge. Byers rolls out. He's in trouble, and in a straight jacket, he goes down to the turf. brought to you by Josh Porter for a sack on the play. Brings up 4th down and 17, and slowly getting up again is Byers. But I'll tell you what, he finally gets up and, man.
It's a lot of toughness. You're down 49-0. You are getting beaten personally at this point every time you get the ball. And you know what? Like you said, Nick, he keeps getting back up and ready for the next down.
9:22 and rolling. The punt team out for James River. Trey Taylor will boot this ball away. Radford showing pressure for the punt. They already blocked one today. Only their first block punt of the season.
I want to see a good block punt.
Yeah, that one was kind of just nicked. This one, spiraling punt, is going to land at the 45, take a James River bounce into Radford territory, and out of bounds it goes at the Bobcats' 47-yard line. We'll stay right here as Radford's offense comes out on the field, engineering this drive. Freshman Luke Gaither wrapped up his freshman JV season, a successful JV football season for the Bobcats. They looked incredible.
Successful middle school season, too. Going undefeated.
A lot of talent booked up for the Bobcats in the coming future. In the game for Radford right now, Caden Akers will be snapping the football to Luke Gaither. Tanner Rogers, Cole Martin, Connor Young bunched to the right. High snap up and over Gaither's head. He's going to have to trek back to the 30 where he just falls on it.
I'm not sure he was intending on falling on it, but I'm glad he did because he had a James River guy right behind him.
All the way back to the 30-yard line. That is a loss of 17 right there. Brings up 2nd down and 27.
Coach Chris not happy right there. He immediately sends back in number 74, Jackson Wade, to snap these balls.
Colton Garner-Rollins also in there at wide receiver as well. Gaither takes the snap, hands it off. DeHart Lewis met in the hole and is going to be dropped for a huge loss of 4. All the way back to the 27. This drive started at the 47.
I kind of like watching Coach Chris from up here. A lot of the younger guys are in. You're up 49-0. He's not happy. He's not happy at all how this line is working right now. He wants these guys to play just as clean and sharp as the starters did in the first half.
3rd down and 30. And Luke Gaither gets a couple guys to jump off sides there. Jackson Wade took an unnecessary hit right there in the hole, but that's how good the snap cadence was by Gaither.
That's a sacrifice you have to take if you're trying to get the guys to jump off sides.
I think Jackson Wade's okay. He's a tough guy. Truly underrated by the Radford Bobcats. The junior center has been unreal this season. 4 wide out split for Gaither. 3rd and 25. Low snap. Tosses over to Colton Garner-Rollins on the left. He throws on the Jets. Runs by a defender at the 50, 45, 40. Outstretched out to the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Colton Garner-Rollins for 6 more. And Radford leads 55-0. What a burst of speed. And you saw just some jet trails behind him as he ran down the sideline, outrunning literally everybody who had the angle on him. And Colton Garner-Rollins with his 2nd straight week with a big, long touchdown reception.
68 yards for number 6, taking it to the house. And, yes, a lot of speed. He even variated his speed along the sideline to make the defenders miss. Great run right there. Great catch and run by Colton Garner-Rollins.
Clean snap, clean hold. The kick is up, and is it through? It is. 56-0. Radford matches their high of points this season from a week ago and against Galax earlier this season. 6:50 on the scoreboard here in the 3rd quarter. Radford up 56-0. We'll step aside for 30 seconds on WRAD.
Hello, I'm Karen, owner of Southern Furniture in Radford. We are family owned and operated, and we carry Ashley, Pulaski, Southern Motion, Serta, Catnapper, Von Bassett, and England by Lazy Boy, and many others. Southern Furniture is a proud supporter of Radford Bobcat football. Players, coaches, and family, go Bobcats! Southern Furniture is located at 2110 West Main Street, just 1 mile past the post office in Radford. Go Bobcats!
Now back to more Radford High School football on your home for the Bobcats, WRAD.
56-0 Radford on top of James River with 6:48 to play in this third quarter of football. I'm Nick Brown to my left, Timothy Whirls. Colton Garner-Rollins just went the distance with a 68-yard touchdown reception from the hand of Luke Gaither. That was Gaither's second passing varsity touchdown of the season, and that was also Colton Garner-Rollins' second receiving touchdown of the year. Both of those touchdowns coming in the last 2 weeks. High kick that is drilling Sam Wilson's face at the 5, and he's just going to have to try to get back to the 20, but he did not. He got only to the 19. All right, Timothy. Now the game begins. Can they get their 5th shutout of the season today?
They're on their way. You know, we want to see it, and we want to see the donuts coming out and the 0 bars.
Woo! You got him to come back.
I still need you to.
You're complaining. Came back.
Hey, it's a tradition. You just can't get rid of it.
Hey.
Here at Radford, you walk under the goalpost, and you get 0 bars on shutouts.
A pitch out to the right side for Wilson. He is caught from behind. Cole Martin imitating his older brother with a rude tackle right there and hopping up very humbly. No celebration needed. Loss of 1 brings up 2nd down and 11. Truly a tradition unlike any other. 0 bars at Radford High School.
Yes, absolutely.
The Masters and 0 bars at Radford High School. 2 greatest sporting traditions of all time. 2nd and 11. Ball back at the 19. At the 18. In the football game for the Bobcats, Essex Williams, Alex Roberson, Tanner Rogers as Byers drops back to snap. Lobs it deep. It is broken up. There's no flag. I'm not going to say anything. On the coverage there across the way for the Bobcats, I believe that was Kamani Kimbrough, and it was. The ball was underthrown as Trey Taylor tried to adjust to it. Couldn't get back to it in time. Josh Porter, Nathan Taylor, J.D. Garner-Rollins up front for the Bobcats. They're the 3 big boys. Behind them, the 3 linebackers are Cole Martin, William D. Hart-Lewis, and Corion Ferguson. And then the 5 DBs are Alex Roberson, Tanner Rogers, Essex Williams, Kimani Kimbrough, and number 6, Colton Garner-Rollins. Timeout called here by James River with 4:23 to play here in the third quarter. We'll step aside for 30 seconds on WRAD.
Mullins Funeral Home and Crematory, located at 120 West Main Street in Radford, has been part of the New River Valley since 1918 when it was started under the name of Johnson Funeral Home as a family-owned and operated funeral home. Mullins Funeral Home is still family-owned today. They take pride in offering a warm, welcoming atmosphere to help relax the families they serve during their time of need. You can trust their experienced staff to help you in your most difficult of times. For more information, visit mullinsfuneralhome.com and go Bobcats.
On the air and online. Now back to more Radford High School football on the WRAD Talk Network.
Welcome back to Bobcat Stadium, Norman G. Linderberg Field. I'm Nick Brown. To my left, the very stressed out Timothy Whirls here with 4:12 to go in the third quarter of football. Shotgun snap, roll out to the left for Evan Byers. He's rolling out, still on the run, and he is upended and crushed to the ground there. Corion Ferguson with a big-time hit, and Byers again slow to get up, but again hopping up on his own power, and it will be the punt team coming out.
Yeah, he was getting out to the open space with his eyes downfield. I mean, he was an open target right there for Corion Ferguson. Got planted right into the ground, but as he's done all evening, he popped right back up and trotted off to the sideline for the punt team to come on.
The largest margin of victory in a playoff game in Radford history, 1972.
Of course.
Yes, of course. Radford took down Richlands 62-0. Clean snap, punt is away. It's a low line drive that's going to land at the 35 and tiptoe out of bounds at the 37-yard line. So Radford is a touchdown away from being the largest margin of victory in a playoff football game in Radford High School history. Still setting records, even in games just like this.
The question that can only be answered in next week's game is that a good or bad thing to start off the playoffs with? But here's the deal. The Bobcats have had a whole season of this up to this point. So you can have a lot of confidence and stuff, but when it's starting to become a battle, are you going to be able to keep your head on straight and keep battling?
Toss out to the left for Connor Young. It's going to fall incomplete. Well, you want to know how the 1972 team did after that 62-0 win over Richlands? They defeated Brookville, the Bees, 43-0. Wonder how dominant that defense was. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shutouts that season and only played 13 games. That's pretty darn good.
That's really, really good.
2:25 ticking away in the third quarter, 56-0 Radford leading. This would be Radford's 5th shutout of the season if they can hold on to this one. Shotgun snap for Gaither, hands it off. Kimbrough bounces it outside, still stretching out, gives a stiff arm, cuts it back into the middle of the field at the 45, shifting gears, puts on a burst of speed, another stiff arm, still powering his way down to the 22, and finally ends up at the 20. Kimani Kimbrough not only showing off his speed, but his strength as well, as he gave 3 or 4 stiff arms en route to a 20-plus yard carry.
It was a continuous stiff arm the whole time he ran. He ran for about 35 yards, but only going to be credited for 15 on that one. But great run right there by Kimbrough.
So it will be 1st and 10 now at the 19 with 1:30 to play in the third quarter. Like I said, the largest margin of victory in a Radford playoff game was 62-0 in 1972 against Richlands in the Blue Tornado. Bobcats with trips to the left for Luke Gaither. His team leads 56-0. Screen pass to Cole Martin goes incomplete. Too high as the freshman got a little too antsy with that pass.
Number 51 for the Bobcats, Kenyon Walker coming on to get some action for the evening. He comes in for number 50, Joshua Porter, who's made some good plays this evening during his time as well.
Just to put in perspective how much this team has grown over a year, Radford year ago won big in the first round of the playoffs, 48-26. We thought that was impressive. Gaither takes a snap, flips it out to the right side for Kimbrough on a screen pass, and he's going to get a gain of 3. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 7. We thought that win over the Eagles a season ago over Gretna was going to be a big-time win. That score was only 48-26. That'll take us to the end of the third quarter, 56-0. 3rd down and 7 on the other side of this break. We'll start the fourth quarter right after this here on WRAD.
Bobcat fans, it's game time. Time for friends, food, fun, and football. Where, you ask? At Moncado's, of course. Whether it's before, during, or after the game, come to Moncado's or have your tailgate party catered with the delicious Moncado's food you know and love. With 19 locations, there's a Moncado's wherever you go, including Radford, Blacksburg, Christiansburg, and Salem. Moncado's is now hiring for all positions. Stop by a location for more information. Check out their daily specials, locations, and catering menu at moncado's.net, and we'll see you at the Do's.
You're listening to Radford High School football on WRAD Radford, WRAD FM Radford, your home for Bobcat football. 101.7, 103.5, and 1460 AM, the WRAD Talk Network.
Welcome back, Bobcat Stadium. 12 minutes on the scoreboard as we begin the fourth quarter of football. 56-0. Radford leads. 57-49. Radford Highlanders leading Marshall with 3:30 to play in that basketball game as well. Kimbrough catches a screen pass. He's wiped out back at the 23-yard line. That'll bring up 4th down and 14. So, Radford needs a touchdown to break the largest margin of victory in a playoff game and the extra point as well. If they miss the extra point, then it stays at 62-0. This is a pivotal 4th down for that record.
60 points. That's a lot of points.
Radford has not scored 60 points this season.
No.
And they have put up 50 points and a half twice this year.
Coach Chris going to let this thing tick all the way down and then take time out.
Yep, that's exactly right. With 11:05 to play in the fourth quarter, it'll be 4th and 14 out of this timeout. Luke Gaither and company will have to be drawn up something here for this big-time 4th down. The ball's at the 24. They'll have to get to the 10 to move the chains. And Timothy, do you care to explain why everybody why you're so stressed?
I'm very stressed. Duke is down by 3 with 4 minutes left. But Radford is winning. So
Radford University up. And by the way, Quentin Morton Robertson went off
yes.
in his
against
opening season against DePaul. Yes, a fairly big opponent for Purdue Fort Wayne. The Mastodons getting the big time dub over the Demons.
One of the few handful of schools that have never been to the NCAA tournament in Division I.
Purdue Fort Wayne?
Yeah.
I toured there as a freshman in high school.
Really?
Yes, I did. Bet you didn't know that.
I didn't.
Yeah. Quentin actually looked like old Quentin once again.
Yeah, he looked really good out there.
Here we go. 4th and 14. 5 wide. Trips to the left for Gaither. 2 to the right from the 24. At the far hash, and Gaither gets 4 guys to jump off sides with his cadences. Brings up now 4th and 9, much more manageable.
Never fails. Never fails.
Twice Gaither has gotten to do that today, as Landon Clark failed to do so in his attempts today, but I don't think Landon faced a 3rd down today. Here we go now.
Did it
And
again.
Yep, again. So what was 4th and 14 is now going to be 4th down and 4. Unreal. The ball is now placed at the 14.
No way.
Under 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. If Gaither does it one more time, they're going to get the first down.
They're going to steal a first down.
Trips to the left.
There's no way.
Oh, almost had him.
One guy hitched at the leg right there. Do it again.
Oh, no! Who moved? Who moved? Was it Radford? It is. Oh, no! The culprit of the crime is Kemper Marion. Oh, and he knows it. Smacks in a helmet. 4th down and 9. This 4th down
has
was
become this kind of night, ladies and gentlemen.
9:20 and rolling. Wow. It was 4th and 14, and then it was 4th and 9, and then it was 4th and 4. We're back to 4th and 9. Trips to the right for Gaither. Motions a man out to his right. Pressured off the edge. Lobs it to the middle of the field. Incomplete. And that's going to be a turnover on downs after the wild amount of pre-snap procedures. And so, well, I think that might have just ended the chances right there.
Yep, I think the 72 team still has a record they can hold on to.
Oh,
and some other successes that.
Oh yeah, they did pretty good that year. Granted, they only had a 3 playoff gauntlet. Radford will have to win 2 more than that 72 team did. Handoff up the middle. Oh my gosh, ball came out. Oh man, Cole Martin just laid the wood on Sam Wilson. Poked the ball free, but Wilson was the only one that saw the football pop out, and he hopped right on it.
Yeah, big lick right there by not Dawson, but Cole
Cole
Martin
Martin.
right there, and the ball just kind of popped out. It's like a delayed pop out, and it's like, oh man, I just got hit hard, and all of a sudden you freeze, and the ball just fell out. But James River lucky to jump right back on that one.
2nd down and 9. Under 8 minutes to go in this 4th quarter. James River with the football. They'll go with the sweeping play to a receiver to the left. Cutting it back, shifting gears back to the right side of the field. Plenty of running room there for the Knights. Out to the 40 and out of bounds at the 44 was Nathan Stewart, who took it all the way to the near sideline, returned to the far sideline, and picks up a big 1st down.
Nathan Stewart, the sophomore for the Knights, has a little speed under his feet.
I'll tell you what, the Knights only roster 5 seniors, on this team. A lot of sophomores, and they will only grow in chemistry and skill in the upcoming years.
I was going to say only 6 or 7 juniors, and like you said, the rest are sophomore and freshmen.
Handoff up the middle for Wilson, and he is laid to rest at the line of scrimmage. Wilson, one of those freshmen. He's been popped all day long. Yeah. James River's only going to get better. This is about as low as it will get for them. They will certainly have a much more successful year in a calendar year.
Again, a team that started off 3-0 this year.
Yeah.
Pretty handily.
Yeah,
against
until
the
their
teams.
starting quarterback went down. Zeal Hammonds, the senior quarterback as well, went down against Floyd. High snap, corralled by Byers. Quarterback, keeper all the way, gives a stiff arm, takes it to the 40, and he is caught from behind. Cole Martin again. He's going to mess around and end up being the leading tackler for the Bobcats.
Yeah.
Brings up 3rd down and 7 with 6:20 to play.
Cole Martin just flying around everywhere right now with a big tackle.
3rd down and 7. The ball's at the 43. They have to get to James River will have to get to midfield to extend this drive. Byers in the gun. Motions Trey Taylor to his right. They pitch it out to the right. He's looking to throw. Throws it up the air. Intercepted. Colton Garner-Rollins. 20, 15, 10, 5. Hello, record books for the Bobcats. And they lead 62-0. Unreal. Step aside, 1972. We are an extra point away from having the largest margin of victory in playoff Bobcat history.
This is a big extra point right here.
Luigi Puglisi, statistically, the worst extra point kicker for the Bobcats on the season. It'll be his first extra point attempt in weeks. Luke Gaither, the freshman quarterback, will hold. Clean snap, clean hold. For the record, it is up, and it is good. 63-0 with 5:47 to go after Colton Garner-Rollins takes the pick 6 all the way to the house with 5:47 to go in the 4th quarter. We'll stay right here.
There it is.
That's exciting.
The other thing out there hanging for us to really get excited about this evening, and it happens. 63-0 record that, as you mentioned, 62-0 by a 72 team in the playoffs.
Record stood for 51 years. It was a 62-0 victory over Richlands. A domination over the Blue Tornado 5 decades ago. It's a domination over the James River Knights tonight. History, it seems, just every day. Every day we put on these headsets and call a Radford game, it's always going to be history.
And good job on your side to find out some of these records and these stats and keeping the season interested. But last year was a special team. This year's been a really special team. And as you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Nick, it's shaping up to be a Radford and Appomattox rematch next week here on this field.
Yes.
So there's no excuses. We need to fill this stadium up with black and gold next week to support these guys. It's going to be a battle next week. This is a special team. We don't want to see this special team come to a close next Friday night.
63-0, 5:20 and rolling in the 4th quarter as William Steele tees the ball up to kick it away. End over and kick. Steele's kick lands at the 17, and it'll be scooped up at the 15. And Taking it out to the left side, it's Nathan Stewart, and he is upended all the way back at his own 14. Now, we're celebrating at 63-0, but all it takes is one busted play up the middle of the field, and that record goes out the window.
That's true. That's true.
So-
We got 5 more minutes of defense to.
This is
to put out
exciting
there.
stuff right here. 63-0, 4:58 to go in the fourth quarter. Clock will start to run, and Radford's defense has 86 yards separating itself from the history books. Checking into the game for the Bobcats, a couple of new substitutions, Cameron Snyder and Eli Long as well. Shotgun snap, toss over the middle, caught there in stride at the 25, spinning off a defender is Trey Taylor, and he is wrapped up all the way at the 34. A 20-yard strike on first down, and all right, here we go. Buckle up, folks. This record is going to get a little antsy.
I like it. James River not going down without a fight.
On the field for the Bobcats, Nathan Deltra Brown, Connor Young. Oh, shoot, not Nathan Deltra. Looking at the wrong side. Justin Frisbee and Connor Young as well. Shotgun snap for Byers. Looks left, pressured, fires it. Open man, and it slips through the fingertips of the Knights of number 24, Nathan Stewart. He was open at the 50, and it would have been a big gainer, but he couldn't haul it in.
Radford and Appomattox. I'm already sorry you're holding on to the record here. I'm on to next week, and already getting excited about that. That's going to be a good game. It's going to be fun to talk about in the post-game show tonight.
It's going to be an excellent game a week from today. Same place, same time. Make sure you come out, or you can listen to us on the same record. Handoff on a sweeping play to the left for number 24, Nathan Stewart, and he's upended at the 37-yard line. A gain of about 5 brings up third down and 5.
Continuous clock still in action here, so we're already ticking down to the 3-minute mark.
3:10 and rolling here in the fourth quarter. 63-0. Radford needs a shutout to hold on to the record for the largest playoff victory in Bobcat history. Byers in the gun. On his right hip, he's accompanied by Ryder Ward. Trips to his right. Byers rolls out to the right, looking deep, lobbing deep for his man, incomplete. Into no man's land it goes. Essex Williams there on coverage, and it brings up fourth down and 5, and this is the biggest fourth down for the record.
Essex Williams just about found himself an interception. There's good coverage right there. Ball kind of floated up in the air, but then eventually just bounced off the ground.
Timeout, James River, for this final fourth down attempt. We'll stay right here. Mr. Timothy Worrells, how big would it be for Coach Christ and this Radford team to finally get over the hump of the second round of the playoffs and move on to the region championship if they beat Appomattox next week?
Even better that it would be against Appomattox, because it's really the hump of Appomattox, it seems like, every year.
Radford University, by the way, apparently just hit a 3 with 1 second left to take the lead. Had an eruption behind us. And the ballroom went crazy. .227 to go here in the fourth quarter. Fourth down and 5. 63-0. Radford trying to hold on to that record book. Shotgun snap. Byers pressured off the edge. Rolls out to his right. Looking. Steps up into the pocket. He's not going to get there. And it's a turnover on downs. And history will stand here in 2023. 63-0. Radford will hang on for the largest margin of playoff victory for the Bobcats' history.
Yeah, just a way to start these playoffs this season. It's always exciting to be in the playoffs, no matter who your opponent was. Coming in tonight, if we're all honest, on paper, we knew that this was kind of the angle that this game would eventually go to. And within the first 5 minutes, we saw that it was definitely going to be that way. And the Bobcats came out tonight focused. They had a lot of energy. They were off last week. They were excited to be out here on the field again tonight. And to get a first playoff victory is great. To do it with 63 points on the board and a shutout, that feels really good.
Victory formation in effect for the Bobcats. Taking the snap is Gaither. He'll drop to a knee, and he will just have to snap a couple more times. .110 and rolling as Radford and Appomattox get announced over the air. It'll be a fourth straight season that Radford will take on Doug Smith and Appomattox, and it'll be Coach Chris' third chance to knock off Doug Smith. Second time in Bobcat Stadium as Radford fell 38-33 a season ago on their home turf. Radford just needs to take one more snap, and this game can be over. 63-0. 9 touchdowns for the Bobcats, 2 of them defensive, and that'll do it. Radford victorious in round 1 for the third straight year in a row. The Bobcats will advance to the second round of the Virginia High School playoffs. We'll step aside, collect our thoughts, collect our stats, and we will bring you the happy totals on the other side of this break. It'll be the Harvey's GM post-game report here on WRAD.
Hey guys, this is Ali Jennings III, wide receiver for your Virginia Tech Hokies. When I committed to Virginia Tech football, I committed to the best. That's why I chose Harvey's GM in Radford. Why settle for less when you can have the best? Go to Harvey's GM for all of your vehicle needs. Tell them Ali sent you. That's Harvey's GM, Tyler Ave in Radford, or go to their website at harveysgm.com for more info. And as always, go Bobcats.
Step foot inside Brad's Barbershop in Radford, and you'll be transported back to a time when men were men and getting a straight razor shave and a haircut is something that mattered. You can expect the service at Brad's to be top-notch, being locally owned and operated. Brad is available daily by appointment, and you can reach them at 838-2109. That's 540-838-2109. Brad's Barbershop is a proud supporter of Radford High School athletics. Go Bobcats!
The office of Dr. Dennis Vaughn is a proud supporter of Radford High School sports and wishes the Bobcats the best of luck this season. Dr. Vaughn has been a Radford orthodontist for 36 years and proven the smiles and confidence of countless patients. Dr. Vaughn and his team salute our team, the Radford High School Bobcats. Good luck this season and continue to make your school, your parents, and your community proud. Go Bobcats! From the office of Dr. Dennis Vaughn, orthodontist, Radford.
Hello, I'm Karen, owner of Southern Furniture in Radford. We are family owned and operated, and we carry Ashley, Pulaski, Southern Motion, Serta, Catnapper, Von Bassett, and England by Lazy Boy, and many others. Southern Furniture is a proud supporter of Radford Bobcat football. Players, coaches, and family, go Bobcats! Southern Furniture is located at 2110 West Main Street, just 1 mile past the post office in Radford. Go Bobcats!
Radford High School football is on WRAD. It's time for the Harvey's GM postgame report. With complete game analysis, highlights, and the statistical rundown, we head back to the stadium to Nick Brown and Timothy Worrells.
Welcome back to the emptied-out Bobcat Stadium at Norman G. Linderberg Field, where Radford, with the largest playoff victory in school history, 63-0, outscoring the 1972 team by 1 single point, and it came with a Colton Gardner-Rollins interception in the final few minutes. He took all the way back to the house for a pick six to extend the lead to 63-0. A huge moment here in Radford. And, Mr. Freeman left the room. And right before he left the room, he said, it gets real next week. But before we talk about next week, we got to talk about the scoring today. And Mr. Timothy Worrells, how'd it shake out?
Man, I'll walk you through all these touchdowns in case you're just tuning in right now. Bobcats didn't take any time to get on the board with just over a minute on the off the clock in the first quarter. Bobcats got on from a Landon touchdown pass to Max Knight, 19 yards, put us up 7-0. About a minute later, Bobcats get on the board once again, this time from 1 yard out. It's a rush by J.D. Grubb, put the Bobcats up 14-0. A few seconds later, Bobcats get a pick six. His name's Max Knight, and he took it not only offensively this evening, but he took it defensively as well, made it 21-0. 9 seconds later, Bobcats get on the board again. Landon Clark touchdown pass from 25 yards to Brandon Thompson, made it 28-0. We're still talking about the first quarter, everyone. 5:43 remaining in the first. It's another Landon Clark touchdown pass, 18 yards out to number 18, Max Knight. Into the first quarter is 35-0. The second quarter, Bobcats keep it rolling. They had a touchdown run from 8 yards out by J.D. Grubb for the second one of the evening for him. And then lastly, before the halftime break, 6:57 remaining in the second quarter, we had a touchdown run, 48-yard scamper by Landon Clark to make it 49-0 at the break. Coming to the second half, Bobcats didn't take time off or take a long time either to keep it rolling. Touchdown pass by Luke Gaither, 68 yards to Colton Gardner-Rollins, made it 56-0. And the second half was Colton Gardner-Rollins' half right now. He had a pick six in the fourth quarter to end us at 63-0.
Impressive stuff. Stats highly skewed to the Bobcats, but we'll shift gears because this game, again, it doesn't matter now. It's out the books. It's out the window. 1-0. You move on to the next round. Survive and advance. Survive and advance. Mr. Timothy Whirls, next week, Appomattox. Coach Doug Smith and his tricky offense come to town.
Yeah, and Coach Smith is a good coach. You know, Appomattox was 5-5 entering tonight's first playoff game. They get the win, so it puts them up to 6-5 now. And this team's they played a lot of great, hard-nosed Lynchburg football teams at the beginning of the season. You know what? They're going to come in next week. They're going to have a game plan. They faced the Landon Clark show last year. They faced guys that was beside Landon with Parker and Marcel. The athletes, they don't get nervous by those guys. And so they're going to come in with a game plan ready to shut down Landon Clark. They're going to try to shut down Max Knipe, and they're going to force these guys who haven't really had to step up in key moments this year. They're going to put the ball and the pressure on their shoulders. And so next week is going to be a battle. Bobcats haven't been battled this year at all, and they're certainly going to be battled next week. Excuse me.
That is certainly the case now, Mr. Timothy Whirls. I need your players of the game.
Where do we begin? Well, let's just go ahead and say the player of the game on the offensive side. I'm going to give it to number 18, Max Knipe. We've missed him for the last 2 weeks, and he had a total of 2 touchdowns tonight, 2 offensively, and a pick six. So Max Knipe, welcome back, man. Looked great. Looked like the Max before he got injured. Looked like the Max when he got injured, and still caught that huge pass at Patrick County. Player of the game offensively will go to Max. And, you know, a lot of people are going to roll their eyes here, but defensively, I'm just going to give it to the whole defense, you know, because it's another shutout, and it takes all 11 guys. I mean, a lot of guys played well. Ricky Bailey, Charlie Davis, of course. Dawson Martin had some big hits. Sam Hannon-Barani.
Cole Martin.
And Cole Martin, yes. Cole Martin, we mentioned his name a lot in the second half. So it would not be fair for me to mention one person on the defensive side. The defensive unit was the player of the game defensively. Another shutout in the playoffs. That's excellent.
Want to give a big final shout out to Southern Furniture, Harvey's GM, Brad's Barbershop, Radford Drug, McAdoo's, Mullins Funeral Home, Dr. Dennis Vaughn. Big shout out to all of our sponsors for bringing tonight's action to you listeners, living room, car, kitchen, bathroom, wherever you listen to your football games from Radford. And we thank you listeners for giving us a platform to broadcast these guys every single week. Also, before we sign off, I wanted to say we are still thoughts and prayers, especially our prayers out to Blacksburg and the Hawley family who lost Serenity Hawley. She was a personal friend of mine over in Blacksburg, and it just stinks to see especially a high school kid just go way too soon.
Yeah,
we saw it in Radford with Allie a couple years ago, and it's just never a good thing that happens. And Blacksburg has really come together to celebrate her life. I think the funeral and viewing all coming up this weekend as well. So keep that on your calendar as well. Thank you, Mr. Timothy Worrells, for a great game, as always. Thank you, Miss Sparks, back punching the buttons to make us sound so much better. Holy cow, we sounded awful to start the game. I don't know what the heck that was. I don't know how our gain was so high up, but she makes us sound better, and I messed with something over here. Somehow I sounded, I don't know. I fixed something. But either way, that is what happened. So thank you guys to everybody who goes in to making this a weekly event. Thank you. And we will see you next week for round 2 and round 4 between Radford and Appomattox for 4th straight year in the second round of the Virginia High School playoffs. And you can catch it here on WRAD. And as always, good night. Go Bobcats, and God bless.
You've been listening to Radford High School football on the WRAD Talk Network, 101.7, 103.5, and 1460 AM, and streaming online at WRADradio.com and on the TuneIn app for your phone. Coverage of Radford Bobcats football has been presented by Dr. Dennis Vaughn, Brad's Barbershop, Mullins Funeral Home, McAdoo's, Radford Drug, Harvey's GM, and Southern Furniture. Radford High School football is an exclusive production of the New River Radio Group on the WRAD Talk Network, 101.7, 103.5, and 1460 AM, and Radford High School football. Join Nick Brown and Timothy Worrells again next time for Radford High School football on your home for the Bobcats, the WRAD Talk Network.
That adversity, was able to stick together, make it happen, make plays when they needed to down the stretch. So I like seeing Radford when the going got tough, they stepped up.
Okay, we're going to have our guests come over here, and we've got this. We'll sit over there. I'll let you sit that one over there too. And I'm not sure where these guys had to come, but they're walking a long ways over here. We don't have Darius Nichols yet. Yeah, Darius is coming out. We're going to have players first, it looks like. We'll ask Nate Wise which way he wants to go on this. Ryan Antoine is sitting here, and he'll join us first. BA, game winner, my friend. How are you?
I'm kind of tired.
Let's talk about this game. The only shot you took in the second half you made, right? Because you're playing great defense. You're setting your guys up. What goes through your mind like that when it's designed to come to you at the end of the game?
I really can't think, honestly. Coach drew up a play where Arch would slip, and the man took him, and I was open. So, I mean,